This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Staples. It's going to be another wet one today. Highs in the upper 40s. Rain coming in this morning, and it's currently 48 downtown. Staples has great prices on everything you need to print. Now get up to $80 off select HP OfficeJet Pros at HP. As HP celebrates 30 years of helping small businesses succeed, ends 1/20/27, restrictions may apply. See staples.com for details. Staples, it's pro time. Now to Danny Bonaducci and the Sarah Morning Show on 102.5 KZOK.
I've just seen a face I can't forget. Beatles. Oh, I was bitching right there. I think we need to play less Beatles now that I've done that.
Yeah.
Let's see. It is 5:46. I'm Danny Bonaducci, and this is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Morning, Paul.
Good morning, sir.
Kids, how you doing in there?
Great.
Awesome.
Good. Glad to hear it.
What did Derek just say?
I think you said fine. Good.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
And his, what was it? What do you have this morning? Your Frosted Flakes? He's great.
They're great.
I've just seen a face reply is about you, Sarah.
Oh, really?
Sarah and I are doing a new thing. I'm sure we've done it once or twice before in our lives, but now it's an everyday occurrence. We're at a new place, new features downstairs in the parking lot, new co-workers down there buzzing around like busy little bees. And Sarah and I have taken to backing into parking spaces. I'm going to say backing into our parking spaces.
But we are calling our.
We're calling our at 10
They're
o'clock
not
in the
assigned
morning.
spots.
No.
At somewhere between 10 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon when we leave here, those spots become somebody else's.
Right.
But at 5 o'clock in the morning, you can pick down there, and Sarah and I have apparently picked ours. I don't love your choice, by the way.
Why?
What is it that makes that yours?
Because it's next to a pole, therefore nobody can.
Okay, because that was the tip I gave you. Find one next to a post. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't see the post down there because I didn't know why you picked that. It's like right in the middle of traffic.
Because some of the spots are a little tight. And
Yes,
if,
they
if
are.
people park right next to you, it's kind of tough to get in and out.
That's what
Well,
Sarah was telling me when I said get the one with the post.
I learned that the hard way when a Hummer parked next to me and I had to go into my car through the passenger side.
Yep, it's a whole thing. Because what they've done is parking lots and other things have thought to race evolution, and in my opinion, failed. You go walking around, there are spots that 25 to 30% of cars don't fit in. Your truck,
Right.
It's yesterday's news, and they have these lines. They're so close together. It's unfair. I think they thought either as a response to the gas crisis of the 70s, they said, okay, everybody's going to be driving a Fiat. Let's make parking spots for Fiat. And Paul didn't sell his truck, and I don't sell my Jeep. And is your car four-door?
Yes.
None of us are playing by the rules.
No,
Like,
you're right.
Let's continue our big cars, our big trucks, our four doors.
Yep.
A lot of times it's in the building code, too. It's a requirement that if you build X amount of square footage, you have to provide X amount of parking spots.
Right.
So they just make smaller parking
But what they
spots.
don't
to
do,
fill them in.
because I looked that up actually, and what they don't do is say for 1,000 square feet, you need 100 square feet of parking spaces. What they
No.
do is you have 1,000 square feet, you need 10 parking spaces, and they don't register how big those are. So
Right.
when Sarah, it was funny because I got in right before Sarah, and I got, she was coming in behind me. I didn't know it was Sarah, and I was trying to back into my spot like a secret agent. I didn't make it, and I had to pull back out again. I had to wave and go, sorry. I hated it. And then I saw it was Sarah, and I don't know why I felt better because I'm not that thrilled that I did that in front of you. But then I watched you pull into your parking space, and this is what made me think,
No, let me do a reenactment.
that is exactly right. That's why I said I just seen a face because you have a very pained expression while you're backing into your. And the other thing is, unless you know what's happening in the world, anybody that you see doing what Sarah and I do this morning, are looking in the wrong spot to go backwards.
Right.
We look crazy unless we know what's going on in
Staring
that
at our
car.
dashboard.
Oh,
We're
right.
down and to the right, but going backwards.
Yeah.
It just seemed like
Because you have the backup cams.
we do have backup cams. And in the morning, when I back up, I'm trying to go quickly enough that the ghost brakes, the brakes the truck comes with,
Yeah.
they slam on. I'm now like one with that. It used to scare me to death. Now I try to make it happen as often as possible.
I
Does
wasn't
it-
even close this morning though. When I backed in, even using the technology, the backup cam, I was completely on the in two spaces.
In two spaces, and you're about a foot and a half, 2 feet away from the wall
Yeah.
behind you. But you're good. Nobody's going to hit you, which is I think is nice. So man, I'm in a really tough spot, and I don't know what to do about it.
Not a parking spot.
As you guys know, my brother Anthony is in Mexico. Fine young man. Apparently, he's in some kind of crisis and has spoken to my eldest brother John about, hey man, you have to save me from this huge crisis. And
But he's been there for a long time.
20 years.
Right.
Oh, so he didn't just go down there and like
No,
get
and this is what
captured by
I
the
said.
police?
Can you believe you still have to save drafts? I wrote a big, unpleasant email about sending Anthony any more money before we find out what the hell is going on down there.
Yeah.
I closed my computer, it was gone. I have to write
Oh,
it all
no.
over. Yeah, and it was a hostile email, and now I'm like more hostile to these guys. So, yeah.
They deleted your. Like they
No,
deleted
but
your
I've now
email?
had another night to think about nasty things I could say before.
Yeah.
I said flatly, there's something wrong in Mexico, and I don't think money's going to fix it. My eldest brother, John, you're new to the dance. I've done this 3 times
Oh.
where he says, just if you give me this one amount of money, why doesn't his lot improve?
So he
John went from being whatever the hell John was to the choir director for all of Lancaster County, and at 65 years old, he's a PhD candidate. I went from drugged out loser to morning show in Seattle. I don't know. My sister did. She was okay. She's married to a lawyer. But
But when
everybody's
you say he's in trouble, you don't mean like he's in jail and needs you to bail him
no.
out.
If he was in jail and bailing me out, I would. I just said in the letter that they didn't get. I said I've heard more than one Bonaducci refer to Anthony's connection with money as being the same as that of a drug addict, and everybody wants to send him more drugs. Huge mistake. And here, I hope they don't Google this show or whatever you do, because I'm going to in the letter I'm sending out again today that I will fund a trip to Mexico over the coming 3-day weekend to see how our brother is. And then they're all
Because
going to
nobody's physically been there to check on
well,
him.
they have. Anthony John was there, I think, last year. I was there 20 years ago. Here's the other thing. Anthony stopped speaking to me because he didn't like the way I gave him $10,000 last time.
Oh.
And John also thought I was condescending and called me the C word. You're going to call me the C word again if I give him $10,000 more? Because I'm not going to do it. John, at 65, is getting a line of credit. He won't live to pay it back. How can they all be so foolish?
So you want to fund a trip down there?
No,
just to prove-
I would have say I'll fund a trip down there. Nobody's going to go. Nobody's going to take me up on it. And Anthony hates me because I gave him 10 grand. It's
Well,
a great
you-
reason to hate a guy, though. by
You
the way.
gave him a 10 grand with a threat attached of don't ever ask for more money.
There's no threat and don't ask for more money. That was the deal everybody got.
Yeah, that's
my
like the
mother,
receipt.
Yeah, my mother and my sister said, is there anything you can do to get this guy off my back? And I said, yeah, I'll give you 10 grand if you never ask for money again. He happily said, yeah, there's no threat there. Here's the check cleared. There's no threat in there.
When was the last time you spoke to your brother, Anthony?
On my birthday, he wrote an email that said, happy birthday, Dan. And nobody calls me Dan, so I thought that was weird.
No.
Yeah. So I wrote back something, thanks, Anth.
So is it just a financial planning situation? He's bad at investments.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Because here's the other thing. Is
We could send Jim the Flagger down there.
John
Oh, there you
said, we have to do something for Anthony. He's 350 pounds and possibly suicidal.
So that's where the money went.
Well, that's not a great reason to give a guy money because he's morbidly obese and possibly suicidal. That's the last guy you want to give money. Money and guns. Don't give to that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Twinkies. Money, Twinkie, and guns. And I'm out. I don't think he takes drugs, but don't give him those either. So it just seems like the whole Bonaducci family is up. Mom, John's gonna get a loan on his home. My mother, at 93, have given Anthony her life savings twice. And to hear her tell it, he was very rude about it, which is a thing I guess he does because he was rude to me about it. Celia has been doling out money for the last 20 years, trying to hide it from me and her husband and other people.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It sounds like the root problem isn't being addressed. It's
No, it does.
whatever's causing his financial troubles. That's what needs to be fixed.
And well, I don't know anything about them. I believe that you were right, and I'm willing to give the money. I just think we're not doing our due diligence. I think we need to get down there and see how our brother is.
yeah.
By we, you mean your family. This isn't going to be another road trip.
No, you're certainly not invited.
That'd be fun.
Oh, I don't
I like
think
Mexico.
so. It sounds like it'd be funny until Anthony gets a check.
Yeah.
The Pierce County Sheriff's Department announced they have arrested another suspect in the murder of Deputy Daniel McCartney. According to Ed Troyer, who is the sheriff's spokesperson, as promised, we are going to hold accountable everyone responsible for the murder of Deputy McCartney. Now, this latest person arrested was a woman who was in the car at the time of the shooting. This brings the total to 3. Now, one person died at the scene. One person was found after a manhunt and arrested. One woman was the driver.
Found after a girl hunt.
Yeah.
And now this other person is Samantha Dawn Jones, age 29. They believe she was involved in the planning of the robbery and was in the getaway vehicle at the time of his death.
Throwing your whole life away, you guys, and killing a fine deputy. I believe a parent, a husband, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. I don't. What makes you that stupid?
So these people are now. They believe it. This is everybody that they presently have in custody are the only people involved in this terrible crime. The charges are murder and kidnapping for this woman and the others as well. A man suspected of starting a deadly 3-alarm fire at an Everett apartment complex has been tracked down and arrested. Investigators began looking for the suspect. They determined that the blaze at Colby Square Apartments was the result of arson. A woman aged 76 was overcome by smoke inhalation and was hospitalized in critical condition. The man was identified as the arsonist. They had gotten a tip. They were able to track him down, and they said that he is from New Jersey and has a history of mental health issues. And they think he started this fire as a cry for attention and help.
Has he been charged with murder? Is he going to be charged with murder?
I don't believe anybody died, did they?
Then you wouldn't charge him with murder, would you?
He may be charged with murder or manslaughter.
Not if nobody died.
Maybe someone did die.
It sounds like it.
This woman went to the hospital with smoke inhalation. She died 4 days later. She's 76. They need to prove that her death was a direct result of the smoke inhalation. Once that is done, it'll be murder. If it is not able to be tracked directly to the smoke inhalation, manslaughter.
And that's what it's going to be. I'd be willing to bet money on it.
The warning period for states' new distracted driving laws ended yesterday, and motorists caught texting and driving will now receive a $136 ticket.
Uh-oh. No, I've cut down to almost like not doing it at all and it's the technology really, because I can text to speech through my dashboard now.
Yep. How's that work? Because my car will do that, and I'm afraid of it.
So I don't see the text after it goes out, so I have no idea what gibberish I said.
Yeah, that's not great. But if you do it and you're really drunk, just say you were texting in the car.
The good thing is when people text me, the stereo will read it to me. So
crazy, man.
I don't have to look down at the phone to read it.
I can't believe that exists.
It's pretty cool.
Now, the way it works, Paul, is what you say, text. Or what do you shout at it to make it start texting?
Generally, I push a button on the dashboard, which is allowed.
So you're less distracted than you're making out.
Yeah, single finger pushing of a button is allowed.
He's right. It is. That's the law.
But you could say, hey, Siri, read me my most recent text. I just don't do that.
Super weird if I do that because I don't have an iPhone.
Right?
That'd be super weird.
Well, now, those of you who are using handheld cell phones or watching videos while driving, even if you're stopped in traffic, even if you're at a stoplight and the car's not moving, you cannot do it.
Paul said he's cut back on it a lot. You know why I don't do it? First of all, I live so close and I don't have anybody really text. I mean, my last text is always I'm on my way home. But I hate people that do it now. Yeah. I see a person on their phone and I judge them poor and I stare at them. I stare at them more than I stare at somebody who won't turn their blinker off. You know, when I pull up or somebody, I stare at them and I shame them. You're not allowed to do that. And it's weird. 9 out of 10 of them kind of look at me like, why are you staring at me? They don't get that you're not supposed to talk on your phone anymore.
I hate them too, and I hated them the entire time that I was also doing it.
For the past 5 months, state troopers were issuing warnings to the tune of almost 7,000. But now it's official. If you get an EDUI ticket, $136.
An EDUI?
That's what they're calling it, yeah.
Yep.
What does it mean? Electronic?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
If you get a second ticket, $234. Second ticket within 5 years. So you're not even getting a lot of
I told you
grace.
guys, I apparently went 38 in a school zone the other day and got a ticket in the mail, an electronic ticket for $244.
It's crazy.
Well, you shouldn't have been driving so fast at a school
You know
zone.
what? I think that's crazy. I mean, I'll pay. I'm not going to put up some kind of, but 38? You're going to tell me I have to do something because I went 38?
Yeah.
If you remember, I went 106 in a school zone with cops chasing me, and they failed to even give me a ticket that night.
Yeah, that's a new one of the newer laws as well. That it's I believe double or triple what the regular ticket amount is because so many people were speeding in school zones.
Yeah.
In national and international news, Illinois Senator Tammy Duckworth has announced that she is pregnant with her second child. She will be the first U.S. senator to give birth while in office.
Wow.
Oh, really?
She's 49 years old. It seems pretty crazy
Yeah, it
that
does.
this hasn't happened.
I thought this was gonna
there aren't a lot of female senators, so it's not that crazy, but
and she's a female senator with no legs.
Yeah.
And that begs this question that I want to ask legitimately, but it's going to sound like, oh, Daniel's trying to be funny. I'm not. I'm just curious. Do you wear the prosthetic legs when you deliver? Is it easier to push? Will she have those on when she delivers?
I don't know.
The faintest idea.
I would think yes. I would think it'd be hard to get at the right angle.
To give more leverage.
Yeah. Because I was shocked. They did this whole story on the news. I went, oh, that's all interesting. And then she walks by and she's on aluminum prosthetics. Oh, wow, that's weird.
She's an Iraq war vet.
Yeah, sure is. God bless her.
Well, she's making news for two reasons. One, she is an Iraq war veteran who lost her legs. Two, she will be the first U.S. senator to give birth while in office, which sheds light on the lack of women who are senators, the lack of women who perhaps are willing to get pregnant and know that they'll need to take time away from their duties as a senator. And
Is that really what it shows? I mean, are there that many more male senators than female? I would assume, yeah, right?
I don't know what the number is, but I'm guessing it's probably 10 to 1.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a little bit different because here we have, both our senators
Are
are
girls,
female,
or
but
ladies.
I think that's a big rarity.
Right. I would think there's way more, but I wouldn't go 10 to 1. I think it's getting, and every year it gets closer.
Well, Senator Tammy Duckworth said it's a tough act to juggle the demands of motherhood and being a senator.
She's going to walk around on fake legs and juggle. What is this woman? There are no limits to this Duckworth lady.
Now, this woman, Senator Tammy Duckworth, again, she's from Illinois. She made news earlier this week calling out Donald Trump about his military record.
I spent my entire adult life looking out for the well-being, the training, the equipping of the troops for whom I was responsible. And I will not be lectured about what our military needs by a 5 deferment draft dodger.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to the Senate. I'm going to give birth now.
She didn't stop there.
And I have a message for Cadet Bone Spurs. If you cared about our military, you'd stop baiting Kim Jong-un into a war that could put 85,000 American troops and millions of innocent civilians in danger.
Oh,
Okay.
snap.
Yeah, she's kind of bugging me a little bit.
Yeah.
Why?
Because name calling.
Bonesworth, or whatever, Bone Spurs.
Bone Spurs. Cadet
He's the
Bone
president.
Spurs.
That's how it rolled. You serve at his discretion.
Yeah.
I thought the first part was great and to the point. I thought the second part was real disrespectful to a guy I don't even like. I like the roles of our senators and congressmen to deal with the president. Things like I like the way they, did you know, I didn't know this. Do you know how they say, I would like to speak to the gentleman from Wyoming?
Yeah.
They don't say each other's names. That way it could never be personal. It's a
Right,
rule.
yeah.
I didn't know that was a rule. I think a draft dodger, that's a law. That's a crime. I don't think you should accuse the
Well,
president.
it's hardly the first time someone has called out any of our presidents
Hardly.
for that.
But I
mean,
think
it's-
an elected senator calling names is a mistake. But she's a hero to me. I love what she's done.
absolutely.
21 female senators currently.
And men?
Well, there would be
80, 79.
79.
Yeah.
So those statistics, the statistic is
21% of the Senate is currently
So,
female.
so it's 10
They
to
are
2.
tough math problems.
A visitor to the Dubai business has captured an unusual sight. This video is totally adorable, and it has to do with a cat. Therefore, I know, Danny, you're going to run to your
I'm all
computer
about
to
it.
see it. You can go to KZOK.com because I posted it there just for you. There is a cat. Well, let me start over. There's a guy going to one of those claw machines. It's a kid. He's probably 12. One of those claw machines, and inside it's full of fluffy toys. He starts operating the claw, gets his hand on a fluffy toy. It's a cat.
That had gotten in the game somehow?
Yes.
A live kitty inside the
Yes.
machine?
And the video is so great, too, because the claw goes down on the cat's like, meow, and then goes back to sleep.
So he doesn't get the cat. He doesn't win the cat.
No, the cat crawled in there.
I don't mean to be gross here, but that's all like an adorable story until that cat starts pooping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's not that adorable anymore.
$1,000 is about what it cost me to win one of those claw machine games.
Yeah,
But you can spend it on whatever you want, but that's probably what I'd do with it.
Authorities in Connecticut are investigating the discovery of 2 decapitated chickens inside a courtroom. Judicial marshals and... Is this just an excuse to play the chicken dance?
Yeah.
Good enough then.
Judicial marshals and maintenance staff were investigating a putrid smell. Could not figure out where the smell was coming from.
Probably close to the dead chickens.
Well, they didn't know, maybe it was like a garbage can. Why does it smell so bad in the courtroom? That's when they found headless chickens under a bench.
Is that weird?
Yeah, I think well, I'm betting money it has to do with Santeria.
You are correct, Danny.
Oh, look at me go.
The carcasses were decorated in silver, green, and gold glitter.
Oh, that doesn't go with anything.
They are guessing it has to do with Santeria, somebody who was facing a crime, and they were trying to protect them from being found guilty.
You know what is happening here? The reason this didn't work is that they don't practice. They don't practice Santeria. I just want to do that. If he can play the chicken dance, I can sing Santana.
Sublime.
Is that right?
Yes.
Santana's
You
happy?
do
It
have
is
to
sublime.
practice, though. You
I
can't get
do,
it right on the
apparently.
first time.
Apparently not.
California has an official state tree in the redwood, and now 2 lawmakers think something else in California having to do with nature should also get the official state status. The state assembly has a couple of members who have introduced Assembly Bill 1782 to make surfing the official state sport of California.
Yeah. I mean, my only vote off the top of my head is beach volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have to have an official state sport, which I don't know why you do, I can't think of anything better for
There's-
California.
There seems to be, I bet there's money involved, getting sponsors,
Yeah.
get contests, get a TV show, all that stuff. But yeah, I'd vote for surfing, I guess.
It does make sense for California, but also Paul makes a valid point of why do we need a state sport?
You know,
state sport?
we have one of the most beautiful coasts in the world, certainly in America, right here. And I was thinking about this. It'd be kind of cool to go out the coast and get an official state seal. The kind that swims.
Oh.
Yeah, put a little necklace around his head, say official state seal, Sammy or whatever his name is. I think, now that it's past my lips, from my cerebellum to my lips, it's a great idea. We need an official state
Yeah.
seal.
By the way, Washington does not have an official state sport, if you were wondering. We do not. Only a handful of states do. In
Why
North
would it
Carolina,
be here?
What would it be?
Hiking, mountain
coffee
climbing,
drinking.
coffee drinking. There you
Coffee
go.
drinking, hiking, that's a good one.
Plaid wearing.
You know what? We still do it, but we don't do it in the vast numbers that we used to. You
Yeah.
see a picture of a crowd now. It's not all lumberjacks anymore.
North Carolina state sport, NASCAR.
That makes sense.
That does make sense.
A couple of different ones have
Incest.
rodeo.
I thought I muttered that.
There's
Full
a mic.
on
mic
out
right
loud.
in
There's a
front of me.
microphone right in
Yeah,
front of
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hours of tension over a suspicious package at a Louisiana post office
Yeah,
came to a surprising and nasty end when authorities figured out
That'll happen.
it will.
what was in the box.
What's in the box? My wife's never even seen that movie and can do that impression. I wonder if Brad Pitt thinks that's great.
Well, somebody left this box right outside of the Louisiana post office. And they thought, okay, that's not cool. You see something, you say something. So people did. The bomb squad arrived. It took several hours of people, they got to bring in that little robot.
Jaws of life. Cranes.
This was a large box, okay?
See?
They spotted the person who dropped it off. They know it was a person. They were able to track him down. He said it's not an explosive. Well, the bomb squad had it x-rayed. They had the little robot go up. Inside of the box, 70 pounds of number 2.
It's a lot of number, too.
Yeah.
70 pounds of human number 2.
See, it makes it weird. I don't know why it's weirder, but it's weird. Oh, no, of course I know why it's weirder, but I don't know why it's grosser.
Yeah. And that can't all be from the same person, right?
You don't know.
You don't know.
Spend the weekend at my house. Come over on Taco Tuesdays.
I will pass.
So why? Thank you.
No motive yet. Perhaps.
Well,
it's
I think
Taco
you
Tuesday.
got a motive.
Yeah,
You gotta go. You
gotta
gotta
go.
go.
A man was holed up in a trailer in New Hampshire.
No,
and-
there's the motive right there.
Yep, I'll do it.
Well, this man had perpetrated a crime and fled, was trying to hide from police. He went inside of a trailer and refused to come out. They brought a canine dog in and tried to get the dog to scare the dude into coming out of the trailer. Well, the guy, the dog went underneath the trailer, and the man bit the canine. So what do you think happened next?
The dog bit him back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who do you think wins that fight?
Me. But I'll go, what kind of dog?
Most of the time, it's either a German Shepherd or a Malinois.
Okay, what kind of guy? By the way, I would fight a Malinois just because it's called Malinois.
It's a bigger German Shepherd. The
Yeah,
Malinois.
yeah. No, I think the dog wins this.
Absolutely. They said anytime you are going to pit a canine up against a dog, you are going to lose.
You're going to pit a canine up against a dog?
That seems
I'm
like a
sorry.
fair
That's
fight,
Weird,
actually.
yeah. What else are you do? Put it up against a chicken?
If you get into a biting competition with a police dog, you are not going to win. They're pretty good at it.
Yeah, I had a theory. I asked the guy. I had a trained dog one time. We moved into the Hollywood Hills. It was dark. It was a big house. So I got a pretty expensive protection dog that attacks and like. So I said, it was up at the top of my stairs. And I said to the trainer guy, what if I just kept my composure? And when he came, I'm the robber, and I keep my composure, and he comes running down the stairs, and I put my arm in his mouth like you guys do in the training suit, and that gums up all his weapons, and I kill that dog. And he goes, all right. Keep your composure. And he gives the go word, and the dog turned into a werewolf, and I just ran and started peeing. It was like the most awful thing.
You remember I did a police ride along, what was it, last year, with the canine unit, and it was so crazy to watch them do that thing, like you're saying, with the arm protector. The cop was doing that, Officer Jay, and the dog is like scary, insane. And then as soon as the word is said, he's like your best friend.
Yep, he is.
And he's cuddly,
Yeah.
and you're allowed to like hug him.
When the dog trainer guy came over to do this thing of if the dog heard anything, what would it do? And he ties the dog up to my couch and sets all the family, me, and I don't know if Dante was born yet. I think maybe he was. Anyway, it was me and Isabella and my ex-wife at the time, right? He ties the leash to the leg of the couch and then taps on the door. The dog drags the couch with all three of us on
Wow.
it across the room. And I went,
Wow.
okay, this is a great thing.
A man is facing charges after being caught with narcotics and lying about his identity. This man perpetrated a crime. He was in a school zone, which makes it even worse. And when he was pulled over, Chad Weed lied about his name.
I would.
Yeah, me too.
What's your name? Weed? Not your hobbies. What's your name?
They asked what his name was. He's like,
Dave Meth. No, probably not that, right?
Right.
they said, upon making contact with the witness and trying to ask him what his name was, he kept lying. Finally, we got his ID, and his name is Weed. In Weed's pants, we found a package of heroin in his front pocket. And they go on, like this whole police report is Weed this and Weed that. He said, yes, Weed is my real name. Weed's pocket tested positive for fentanyl. Strangely enough, Weed had no weed.
I know weed.
Sounds like
But his
a,
pocket had fentanyl.
Yeah, dude.
Yep.
That stuff's like apparently so dangerous.
Yeah.
Like you just get near stuff. I'd like to get a fentanyl air freshener. It just sprays a little out every like 40 seconds or something like
I
that.
don't think that's a good
I think
idea.
that's a super fun idea.
Venice, beautiful city.
Italy
the
or
one in
California?
Italy.
Yeah.
The one in Italy, quite beautiful.
Yeah, I've been there. I surprisingly loved it. I heard it wasn't that great and it was dirty and smelly. I thought it was bitching.
Did you go in the summer or winter?
I don't know.
I went in the winter, and I think that can curb the smelly aspect that those canals can get stinky in the summertime. But since you and I have both been to Venice, we both know it ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap.
However, a couple of Japanese tourists have now complained to the authorities that they were taken advantage of at a restaurant. They went in and ordered 4 steaks, a platter of grilled fish, no wine, just water, $1,350.
It sounds wrong, but I've it's not unheard of.
They said that they believe that the restaurant took advantage of the fact they did not speak any English or Italian and did not know they were ordering like wagyu, however you say that fancy one, Kobe.
How do the Japanese guys not know they're ordering Kobe? I think that you spell Kobe in exactly the same way in English and Japanese and Italian.
Well, what's another reason that 4 steaks, grilled fish, and water would cost that much?
I don't like it, and on the big overview of there's no reason, but I know of restaurants where that could happen to you.
Yeah.
Not here, but in New York,
Well, they
Yeah.
are presently looking into it because they think that it's probably a case of being taken advantage of.
Probably. I would assume that.
But not like they didn't change the price because they didn't speak English. They just talked them into buying more expensive stuff.
Could have been a combination of the
Well,
two.
when I have eaten in Italy, specifically Venice at this point, I read off a menu with prices.
Yeah.
How did this
Yeah.
not happen? Did it say $250 a plate?
Well, in Japanese, what are the numbers?
2, 5, and 0.
In the actual numbers,
Yeah.
they're not in Japanese. But I guess you wouldn't know what the number connected to, it was.
No, I
connected
could
to.
never get a hang on that crazy writing, man. No, it's just they would recognize prices. So I'm saying they didn't do it because they wouldn't have paid for it.
Yeah.
I'm on the tourist side on this one. I think they got robbed.
I mean, I think a lot of us have been burned once, and then you learn your lesson. You're like, yeah, I'll have the lobster. That sounds great. And the bill comes. You're like, wait, that
Yeah.
lobster was $140.
I ordered lobsters one time because I heard it was $10, and this will give you an idea how long ago it was. It was $10 a pound.
Oh,
And I was shocked when I got it. Was like I said, "Oh wow, okay, then I'll have the biggest one you have." Not realizing this was going to get more expensive. It was like
Yeah.
$100 and some odd dollars just for the lobster.
Yikes.
Yeah, it was embarrassing because I couldn't pay for it.
it's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida. Star of the day.
Yay!
A Florida mother went to the grocery store. She had important things to buy. She needed some nail polish, clear and pink, and some poopery.
Poopery.
Poopery, the spray before you go.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, where that English lady talks about pooping.
Right.
It's gross.
Poopery, before you go spray. She needed those things.
She actually, I'm not even going to tell you what the commercial says, and it's a commercial on TV, so I'm allowed to do it. It's
Yeah.
just too gross.
Well, she decided to go into the grocery store to get those items, leaving her kids alone in the car for 45 minutes.
You can't do that.
Nope,
Seems like a long time to grab some nail polish and poopery.
Maybe she
Yeah.
was actually pooping.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. Well, she tried to first say, whoa, my gosh, what are my kids doing here by themselves? My cousin was sitting here. Where did he go?
Nice.
Well, they pressed her on that. Turns out she doesn't have a cousin.
Who doesn't
Everybody
have
has a cousin.
Everybody's got a cousin.
She doesn't have a cousin that lives in the state of Florida. There was nobody supposed to be in that car.
Yeah.
She just needed her poopery.
And it was in Florida, right? So it was hot. You can't do that.
Exactly. Guess what else it turns out she had in addition to poopery?
Meth.
Yep.
What?
Oh,
I'm on fire. I think it's Santeria. If it weren't for the wrong song, I'd have been on fire.
Oh, Florida.
Oh,
Florida.
Florida.
We've got music news and and entertainment news and sports to get to. You won't believe who shelled out a small fortune for a piece of Beatles history. I don't know how Danny and Beatles fans are going to feel about this purchase.
All
We'll
right.
talk about that next. And some great news for the future of sports in Seattle. Stay here.
In Renton on I-405 northbound at Northeast Park Drive, we have an accident currently blocking the shoulder, causing some delays. And over in the U District on the I-5 Express lane southbound just after 45th Street, we also have an accident there as well, currently blocking the right lane. This traffic report was brought to you by Staples. Staples has low prices on the office items you use most, like paper. Now get a 10-ream case of printer paper for just $24.99. Saving money equals savings in the bottom line. Offer in-store only on SKU number 513096. Ends 127. Staples, it's pro time. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
You know, I like you. I grab at things. It's a new year. Let's do something new and different and better. Let's improve in some way. And then it all falls by the wayside. Well, this year, I would like to introduce you to my friends at 3010 Weight Loss for Life. Changed my life. I look at eating in a whole new light. Start living a newer, healthier life. I did it. You can do it too. 40 pounds, by the way. That's not nothing at 5'6". 3010 Weight Loss for Life teaches you about it's not just what you eat, it's how you think and feel about food and what you practice. And here's the big one: how you plan. At 3010, you receive a personalized coaching method. And by the way, that was one of my favorite parts, helping you address the change in your eating habits, teaching you new and healthy nutrition, guiding you through each step of the program, and holding you accountable for a new you this year. May I suggest you go to 3010 Weight Loss for Life? I did it, and I feel a lot better for it. And by the way, 3010 makes losing weight delicious. They will give you some awesome, super tasty recipes for you and your whole family to enjoy. Call right now, 855-843-3010. That's 855-843-3010. Or visit 3010weightlossforlife.com. That's 3010weightlossforlife.com. You will be glad you did.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by Walgreens. It's going to be another rainy day today, highs in the upper 40s. It's currently 47 downtown Seattle. Expect showers into the evening. When is the best time for a cold? Never. Luckily, Walgreens is right around the corner with the right relief fast. Brands like Mucinex last for 12 hours. Swing by your local Walgreens today and start feeling better. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
Starting with music news, ZZ Top had to cancel their tour last year because Dusty Hill had some stomach issues. Well, now ZZ Top have announced they are ready to return to the stage. They are going to be doing a residency at the Venetian Theater in Las Vegas.
Nice.
The shows are scheduled for April, and tickets will be going on sale Friday through Ticketmaster. They'll be doing a pre-sale for ZZ Top fan club members. That will be happening. That's actually on right now. But for the regular folks, you want to go to Vegas, you want to see ZZ Top, Friday you can get your tickets.
That is super cool. I wonder because, well, I actually know because I read it. They look like dirty hippies, but those guys, they go on when they go on tour, and I don't know if it'll be different during a residency. They go on this full diet and workout program to make sure they can give the best every single night.
That's
Mick
neat.
Jagger does the same thing.
Yeah.
So I wonder, you look at them and go, oh, crazy beards and sunglasses and stuff like that, but I'll bet they're working out really hard to give the best show.
You know what's bizarre is one of the first bands to start doing that and really started the trend of having dietitians and somebody help you get in your best shape. REO Speedwagon.
Really?
Oh, really?
That people were just rocking out, and then they've hired a personal chef to go out on tour with them, and they realized, if you eat better and you don't just party all the time, you sound pretty good.
I recommend eating better and partying all the time, though. You don't have to give,
Right.
you don't have to give that up. Tell the dietitian, hey, we're doing tons of meth and heroin. Make sure to give us more kale. That's what I would
exactly.
say.
A piece of Beatles music history was up for sale. It's the Abbey Road Red 37 recording console. This
You
was
gotta
once
buy that, Dan.
Yeah, I have to have that.
This was once owned by, the Beatles, then Oasis, most recently Lenny Kravitz. This is a really significant piece of Beatles history. It still works. People still use it for recording purposes.
But, apparently, some people really love not just it because it was the Beatles, but still, that's older technology. When
Yeah.
you look at it, you'd recognize right away.
Yep.
It doesn't look like anything in here. And
Yeah.
we're at the height of technology in this radio station. It looks like oldie. I took a tour of Frank Sinatra's house in Palm Springs, and he has one in his living room. And the idea of that guy just getting drunk, smoking cigarettes, and then recording My Way and sending it to the record, that's bitches.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this piece of Beatles music history has been purchased by the same person who plunked down $18 million to buy Kim and Kanye's Bel Air mansion. Marina Acton, a Ukrainian billionaire.
Acting rich.
Well, she is an
Why is there such a thing as a Ukrainian billionaire?
Why
Aren't they being
not?
invaded right now and stuff? They should be broke and sad and bummed and using food rations.
She is a Ukrainian billionaire. I don't know where Marina Acton gets her money. Derek, maybe you can find out. Was she diamonds, oil?
Arms.
Yeah, sold out
beluga.
Human
Ukraine.
arms to be transplanted because she's vicious.
She is the wife of the WhatsApp co-founder. WhatsApp is
Oh.
a hugely popular phone app
Yeah.
that's probably made billions
So
of
by
dollars.
what you're saying to me, that she got all her money by marrying some guy.
Yes.
All right. It's not quite as exciting as when she was selling human arms.
But I'm still surprised that that app was developed by a Ukrainian person. Now, she is a billionaire, whether she's married to it or
There
not.
you go.
She plunked down.
My wife's certainly got everything I got. And I got another wife that had everything I had.
Yeah,
Line it up.
Brian Acton, her husband, his net worth is $6.7 billion.
That's a fair
doing
amount to
all
go.
right.
He's doing okay.
And also the inventor of fast actin and actin. Sure, why not?
Well, the reason this woman purchased this piece of Beatles memorabilia is because she is an aspiring singer and will use it to record songs. The price she paid, $1.9 million.
And has everybody gone up? It's like everybody made their money back on this. Did Lenny Kravitz get a profit?
Did you make a profit?
Yeah, everybody has. But, I mean, that's almost $2 million for a piece of Abbey Road recording.
It's a lot of dough.
Yeah, and what it's going to do to her musical career.
Oh,
Through the
yeah.
roof, man. You hear those bass tones that she's getting?
I can't wait to hear it. David Lee Roth is a pretty recognizable person.
Yeah.
But as you well know, Danny, oftentimes, even if you look a little unique, someone can look similar and try to impersonate you.
Yeah.
I remember this happened when you and I were living in Philadelphia. You had an impersonator.
Well, he wasn't actually technically an impersonator because he was 6'2" and black and bald.
Oh, no, I was
he's
thinking
certainly
about
not a good impersonator. Then.
Well, he got away with like 30 grand. Apparently, he went into my room after a house cleaning lady split and just would call down for stuff. And everybody insists on doing this impression of me. I would like a bottle of Beaujolais 72. And they said, okay, Mr. Bonaducci, and kept sending crap up. That went
Wow.
on for a month. It was like 32 grand of a hotel bill. I didn't pay it, but it was a drag.
Right. No, I wasn't talking about when he stole your identity. I was talking about when we were living in Philadelphia, somebody went to New Jersey, was at a bar
Oh, yeah.
claiming to be you.
And
Oh, was
getting
it Chuck
drinks.
Norris?
The thing on that, I was with Amy at a bar right by our house, right there on 2nd Street.
There were
Began
so
with a
many.
K. I don't know. It doesn't
Khyber
matter.
Pass.
Yes. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, Amy said, you're lucky I'm sitting right next to you right now. And I said, why? And she said, because I'm getting tweeted that somebody's in a nudie bar in New Jersey getting free drinks because they're you.
Yep.
And I said, no, I'm sitting here not getting free anything and hassled because I'm me.
And nobody's naked.
Nobody's naked.
Well, the same thing happened to David Lee Roth. There
I
was a
impersonated
man,
him. So silly.
He's sitting next to Amy getting
Wow.
hassled.
There was a man named David Kuntz Angel. He has been impersonating David Lee Roth for 10 years and doing bad stuff. He has been pretending to be David Lee Roth and fled to British Columbia, where he was just arrested for speeding. Now, he had been...
Some tight laws in British Columbia. You're speeding, you're going right to the Mounties are going to mount you.
Speeding.
He had a magnetic personality. People said that he looked like him, he acted like him, and was able to mesmerize people, and that he started to then take advantage of women. Sexual assault. There was a murder trial.
Sexual assault by con, though, right? It's a different crime.
No.
Like hurt people?
Yes.
Oh, wow, this guy's all over the place.
Yes. So sometimes he was then like, hey, I'm David Lee Roth. And some women were like, hey, look at me. I hooked up with David Lee Roth.
By the way, illegal. Do you know you can't do that? What's happening in the world where you can't tell a lady a story to get lucky? But you can't trick people for sex.
But no, over a 10-year period, he is alleged to have groped several children, like
How does
teenage
this guy
girls.
get weirder?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so finally, David Lee Roth, who's not David Lee Roth, was apprehended in British Columbia.
By the
So-
Mounties.
By the Mounties.
You know what they should do? They should make T-shirts. And it should say, you should have a picture of somebody's face mounted on the wall, like a trophy. And it should say, don't break the law in Canada. You'll be mounted. Oh, I like it. I'm going to start a campaign.
Well, the Crown Council in Chilliwack said that he goes by multiple personalities. How are we supposed to monitor him? And they're like, yeah, let's just keep him behind
Let's keep him in
bars.
jail.
Yeah.
He can chill-a-whack in his cell.
There's only one award show that you control, the 2018 iHeart Radio Music Awards. And not only do you get to vote for the winners, but you can be there in person as they accept the awards. Tickets are available now. You can get all the info at iHeartRadio.com/awards.
Do you think they'll thank me for my vote? Like they'll call me out
Absolutely.
individually? Paul, hey, I see you down there. Thanks for voting.
I've got some sad news from the entertainment world. Tinky Winky has died.
Not Tinky Winky.
I got a text yesterday from a friend of mine who tells me when anybody dies, and I didn't get it. Tinky Winky's really dead?
Tinky Winky's really dead.
Was he the gay one?
He, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know the Teletubbies well enough to know their
Maybe, I don't know
sexual-
anything about the Teletubbies, but I know that it was that big TV minister, the guy that took over for whatever the channel was, Praise the Lord channel, PTL. He said this guy is convincing our children that they should be gay and that he carries a purse and has a wiener on his head. I think it was an antenna.
Yeah, I remember they all had things sticking out of their head, but I
Yeah.
don't remember anybody being gay or straight.
Yeah, no, I carried a purse, if I'm not mistaken. Also carried a purse. Flipped this guy out. The guy's carrying
geez.
a purse.
Wow.
What was his name? That TV
Pat
preacher?
Robertson.
No, but yes.
Jerry Falwell.
Yes,
Jerry
thank
Falwell.
you very much.
Well, the Teletubbies actor Simon Shelton died just 4 days after his 52nd birthday.
Because he's wearing a velvet suit his whole life, getting inside that, it's basically a matador suit or whatever it is you get in that thing and you bake.
You know what? He was the one who carried a handbag.
See?
Tinky Winky was the purple handbag carrying Teletubby.
Purple
Tinky
and
Winky.
a handbag?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
He said it was.
Liberace, man.
He said that it was huge. He had no idea. He's like, I'm just going to go be on the show. I'm a ballet dancer. He turns into Tinky Winky and became a massive celebrity.
Who did?
This actor, Simon Shelton, they
I
unveiled.
think that you and I have different descriptions of celebrities.
He
They
has a
said-
star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Do you
does.
recognize him when he walks down the street if he's not wearing a Tinky Winky suit?
Well, not now. He's
Tinky
dead,
Winky
Dan.
is famous.
Yeah, I think you're right. The character is what's famous.
Yes. The guy inside the Barney suit, think he's getting rushed for autographs all the time? Whether he's got a star on the Walk of Fame or not, Paul.
there's a guy in Canada impersonating him right now.
That's the
doing bad
weirdest
stuff.
thing.
Well, you bring up Barney.
I did.
I do have a story about Barney in entertainment news.
What are the chances?
What are the odds of that?
I don't even really feel comfortable telling you the story about Barney, but I will.
Okay. That'd have been a weird thing then.
The guy who played Barney,
Yeah.
his name is David Joyner.
Also purple. by
Also
the way.
purple.
Yeah, I just thought
He
you might know
played
that.
the friendly purple dinosaur Barney all throughout the 90s. He has a new job because Barney's off the air. I will give you 50 trillion Zimbabwean dollars if you can guess what Barney is doing now.
He's the pool man for Roberta Flack.
That's a good guess.
Thank you, man.
He's probably
If
right.
I'm right, that'd be awesome.
Nope, he runs a tantric sex business.
Oh,
I've
same-
heard about
same
that.
thing.
Jen, do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything. I mean, I've heard of it.
I
but
know. I know that Sting does it. He claims to be.
Yeah.
He's several years older than I am, or at least a handful of years older than I am, and he says he has sex for 4 hours at a time. I don't even want to have sex.
Yeah,
for 4
that's-
hours at a time.
that seems like a hassle.
If I'm having my favorite dinner ever, I'm done in 25 minutes. Please,
Right.
I'm full. Don't nudge me. Are you
Yeah.
crazy? Now I have to go have sex for 4 hours at a time.
Plus, if it happens for 4 hours, I think you're supposed to call a doctor.
Exactamente.
He says that he discovered tantric sex in the 1980s, but realized that while he was on Barney, he could not pursue being somebody who helps others with tantric sex. Some people say
I think Barney would have been great
I
at
mean,
that.
could you imagine Barney at the foot of your bed going, no, and now you go a little to the side?
They said it's a little questionable because you're not sure exactly how legal it is because you are having adult relations with other people for money.
Wait, what?
It winds up being
Part of his coaching or teaching
Coaching,
services is
yes.
that he
has
does it
sex
with
with you?
yes. He'll
Well,
help you.
I
figure it
agree with
out.
him that there's some
Yeah,
gray areas there, legally
Yeah, if there's a
speaking.
gray area, I'm not doing it, Paul.
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Seattle Mayor Jenny Durkin met with the National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman yesterday in Washington, D.C. On Twitter, Jenny Durkin said she was thrilled to share the city's excitement for a national hockey team. She went on to say that she's looking forward to bringing ownership to Seattle, a team, and the Stanley Cup back to our fine city.
No talks of basketball?
No, there's no possibility of hockey for basketball for the first, I think, 2 years, the next 2 years, because there's no expansion planned. But NHL has said, yeah, we have plans to expand.
I think they should have gone down in Soto.
I
Yeah,
agree.
me too.
How do we, if we're the people, and I think we are, we're different ages, we're different genders, if we are the people, how is it that 100% of us agree that they should have gone to Soto and they didn't? Don't they work for us?
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't open for public vote.
Well, let's publicize them.
But let's be
A lot of
honest,
people have.
I think most of us want an NHL team, whether it's at Key Arena or Soto.
Well, yes, I will take an NHL till no matter where it is. But then if you say that, I'll take an NHL till in Capitol Hill. Okay, I'll go there. So if that's the only drive, but if I get to pick, I want to pick.
Yeah.
Today is the day. At 3 o'clock, the results of the Baseball Hall of Fame election will be broadcast on the MLB Network and MLB.com.
Edgar!
Edgar facing an uphill battle.
Really?
He had been starting off real strong, but they said as of yesterday, the trend took a downward turn. Edgar is now falling below the 80% mark. Now he needs to get higher in order to get in. I spoke to some experts with the Mariners yesterday who said it's okay. They don't expect him to get in this year, but next year will most likely be a definite.
But there's a problem with that, though. If he doesn't make it next year, he's out, right?
I don't know if that's true.
There's a limit on eligibility,
Is-
and I think next year might be the
Is
last
next year the second one?
I think
The
so.
second to
Next
last.
year.
This is the second last to last one now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then I think that's why they believe next year will happen, because people know this is it.
Maybe
dude.
that's what I just saw in the news. It's not my cup of tea, really. But I did take notice that they said if it doesn't happen next year, he's out. And I didn't even know what that meant exactly, which is why I posed it.
Well, the Mariners said they get it. They don't think he'll go in next year. This year, but next year it will happen. But we'll find out today at 3. And at this rate, the NFC Pro Bowl team should just be called the Seattle Seahawks. We got another one in.
Yeah. We're up to 7 now?
We are up to 7,
Yeah.
thanks to Dwayne Brown being added to the roster yesterday. 7, and this is Dwayne Brown's 4th consecutive year. He'll be replacing Philadelphia Eagles tackle Lane Johnson because he's going to the Super Bowl.
Right. You got to practice for that.
And speaking of the Super Bowl, if you sign up for Pizza Hut's loyalty program, you could find yourself eating free pizza. The company announced that they, if the record is broken for the fastest touchdown at a Super Bowl, they will give anyone who has signed up for the program free pizza. So you sign up for the loyalty program, and if the fastest
What's the
touchdown
record?
happens,
Good call.
the record was set by the Chicago Bears. He returned an opening kickoff 92 yards in 14 seconds.
Well, I think they're pretty safe on
They're-
making that bet on
They're fairly
pizza for
safe, but
everybody.
also I'm against it, to be honest with you.
Why?
Yeah?
Because you have to sign up for something. It's not a free pizza. It's not like, hey, if they do this, beers for everybody, and just I go get beers, you go get beers, whatever it is. This one, you have to be a member of something already. You have to be in business with Pizza Hut already on this. I don't care for it.
Yeah, I don't think it costs anything to join the loyalty program. Otherwise, that would be illegal.
It costs this. Well, thank you very much. That's $11.50. Can I get your phone number? No, you can't. You can give me pizza.
They
Crabby
should
old
just
man.
randomly bring a pizza to everyone's house.
Yeah, that's what they see. Paul's on board.
Yeah.
And that's a look at sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUIOA.
This traffic report is brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino in Renton on I-405 northbound at Northeast Park Drive. We have an accident currently blocking the shoulder. And on I-5 on the express lane southbound in Seattle, just after 45th Street, you're going to have an accident blocking the right lane there as well. Win your share of nearly $50,000 in tech prizes with Muckleshoot Casino's Tech Hot Card. Just use your Players Club card every Thursday in January between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. for a chance to win. Visit muckleshootcasino.com for details. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
It is 7:01 in the morning, and I'd like to invite you to play Rockin' the Boat at 7:20, and you can win a 4-pack of tickets to Seattle Boat Show, which is cool, plus a $25 certificate to Zeke's Pizza.
Yesterday after the show, walking around the building here, we're in new studios, a lot of new faces.
A lot of new faces.
Well, these faces apparently don't view us as strangers anymore. I got so many comments about not being able to put on my new shower head.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So many people commenting that, well, there must be something wrong with you if you don't know how to replace a shower head. But a lot of people said, is that real? Did you really buy your husband an R2D2 shower head?
Why did they not believe you?
Because it's something that shouldn't really exist.
Why is there an
No,
R2D2
that- I would
shower
go for
head?
that question, but once you stated, "Oh, I'm doing this for my husband, the Star Wars freak," I would think they'd go, "Oh yeah, that's sweet of you," because I've never seen one. I did not
Yeah.
hesitate for a second that there's an R2D2 shower head. I believe you.
Well, a lot of people said, first of all, is it real? Like I had made it up. And second of all, where does the water come out of? A lot of people wanted to know.
That's actually a good question. Because I have it screwing into the bottom and shooting out his head.
I'm pretty sure, and I won't know until this weekend when I put it in, try to put it in. I think it's out of his middle, out of his like belly area, or that doesn't he have a hole like on his head?
No.
That would be super
No.
weird. Isn't that like he's got a little compartment there, and isn't that where like his
He's got a
mouth?
million compartments. I don't know. The water comes through R2D2 and gets you wet. I get it.
Supposedly.
And
Yeah.
I
It
think if
is-
you look at it, you can figure wherever the biggest hole in that thing is,
Yeah.
that's where the water supply comes from.
Right.
The second biggest hole is going to be where the water comes out of.
Right.
Kind of like anatomy.
But I was
Yeah.
really surprised how many people were shocked that that really existed.
It is
like
kind
I
of
had made it
weird.
up.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
An R2D2 shower head.
Well, a couple of stories have been in the news where countries have had navies, and you guys are shocked that they have a navy because we think they're landlocked. Like, why does this country have a navy?
Yeah.
No, I would still insist that. If a country's landlocked, why do they have a navy?
Right. Or, sometimes it's a tiny little place and you're like, they have an army? That really exists?
Sweden has an army. Shocks me every time.
Oh, yeah, we talked
Exactly.
about the Jamaican Air Force.
We talked about the Mexican Navy. All of those things came as a shock, but only for a couple of reasons. One, that, we don't know as much as we think we know, and obviously that
Yeah.
country is not landlocked.
Right.
And I think every country is kind of has the endemic right to defend itself against attack. I
Yeah.
just don't know who's attacking Norway. Norway has a navy.
Right.
Well, and sometimes
But they're
you-
wooden boats, though. So
Well,
they have to row.
They
Yeah.
have those horns on their hats.
like once you say it out loud, you're like, okay, I guess it makes sense, but you're still pretty surprised to find out that Norway has a navy, that
Yeah.
really
No,
exists.
I really am.
Other than that, what is something you can think of that you're surprised really exists?
There are things. See, unlike the R2D2 thing, I get that it exists. I think it should exist. It's not my thing, but it has a right to exist. New York City, $12,000 pizza.
Yeah.
People,
How does that
and
exist?
How
With
does
the
that
gold
buy-
flake.
Who gold leafs the anchovies or whatever you got on there?
Yeah.
And when you put on that many, what are those mushrooms called?
Truffles?
Truffles. When you put on more than a couple truffles, your whole thing just tastes like truffles. You're not helping anybody with
Yeah.
the gold leaf and truffles and puke or whatever you're putting on that
Ew.
thing. But who knows?
I don't think that's accurate.
It's a $12,000 pizza, and you can get a slice of it for $1,000.
Yeah, that's insane.
That should not exist.
I agree with that.
Nor should it exist where a person who has that kind of money and would spend it on that guy should not exist.
I'll agree with all of that.
All right, Ukrainian millionaires.
Right. Yeah. Those exist. That's
Great.
crazy.
Well, you guys listening, what is something that you can't believe really exists? I know you can think of something. Call us and let us know. 800-252-1025.
Sarah was walking around yesterday, got a couple of comments from our new coworkers that her R2D2 showerhead was beyond belief. They didn't even think it existed. I don't think there a $12,000 slice of pizza should exist. What don't you believe exists but really does? 1-800-252-1025.
Let's hear from Vinny and Renton.
Hey, Vinny.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
What's up?
Morning.
How you guys doing?
All good, thank you. What do you got for us?
Holidays. Missed
Thank
you
you.
all at the Christmas party. I guess just sorry for the Cleveland Brown fans, but Cleveland Browns football shouldn't exist.
Let me ask you something, Vinny. When you say on a local Seattle radio station, I'm sorry for all the Cleveland Brown fans, who do you think you're talking to? Think there's going to be rioting in the street because we're insulting the Cleveland Browns?
We're streaming and podcasting. People are listening to us
They're
all
going to
over.
KZOK.
Won their last 2 years.
Yeah, it's a sad
It is
thing.
a sad
But
state.
I think they should continue to exist. It's fun. They have parades in the street. They do gimmicky stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't bother me if they got great one day, but it also doesn't bother me that they're terrible. Somebody's got to
Yeah.
be last.
Plus, the Cleveland Browns are the only football team that are named for a person and not after a animal.
Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't know
Charlie
that.
Brown.
Is that right?
Is it not Charlie Brown?
I don't believe that's his name.
Well, who is it?
Uh,
Yeah, just throw that out there, Sarah.
I think Derek's on
Jerry
the
Brown, the governor of
phones.
California.
No.
That's probably not it.
God, it's from like the 1950s.
James Brown, singer or football
James
player.
Oh,
Brown,
let's go with
that's
that.
All right.
It's James
Think
Brown.
I'm going to kiss myself.
Paul Brown.
Oh, Paul Brown.
Of
I know that
James's
guy.
brother.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's talk to Aaron in Tacoma. What is something you can't believe really exists?
Donald Trump is president.
Yeah, man. Boy, you've got a good point there. Every time they say, when I see him and stuff, I'm all right with it. But when they say, and that's when President Trump shook
Yeah.
this guy's hand, it gives me the shivers that people are introducing that guy to heads of state as President Trump.
We were all so certain during the election. There's no way it's going to happen.
No way.
Even early on, we were saying, this is fun for us. It's funny
And
because there's no way it's going to happen.
I promised my wife, and I don't think I've ever been severely wrong when I've said this is going to happen. I'm usually right. And I said, no, relax. This can't possibly, it's a joke. It's some kind of
Yeah.
weird relax. And I was wrong. She's mad.
Jeremiah in Seattle, what is something you can't believe really exists?
Good morning, sunshine.
Morning, sweetheart. What's up?
Okay, I don't know what type of species spider it is. You ever see it? They put it on the news, pictures and that. It attaches itself to the side of the house, and they're huge. They're giant spiders. I don't know what country or so that they're in, but they're huge.
Giant spiders that attach themselves to their home. I'm going to go with the ex-wife spider because that's what she did. She attached herself to my home. No, they're all over the world depending on the climate. We just did a story on them. They were kind of tarantula. They're everywhere,
Australia,
man.
they're
Yeah.
all over the place.
Get used to giant spiders.
There's the one, the giant spider that was caught on film attacking, was it a rat?
A mouse. A carrot. No, it was a dead mouse. He was carrying
Yeah.
it away and eating
Yeah.
it.
Like,
that
how
was
does
outlandish.
that exist? What is something you cannot believe really exists? You can let us know by calling 800-252-1025. Let's go to KZOK.
Hey, Kozak.
Hey guys, how's it going this morning?
It's all good. What do you got for us?
Flat earthers, people that believe that the world is still flat.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think that most of them are lying and just want to appear interesting. But I've seen a couple of them on talk shows, and they're so well versed on why they believe the fake thing that they believe that
Yeah.
I'm sitting in my living room chair going, that guy believes that. I am with you. I don't see, because Sarah doesn't believe there was a moon landing. I get it. I disagree, but I can see your point. You're not alone. Lots of people think that. There's like a handful of flat earthers, and they're
Yeah.
crazy. And I can't believe, good call, man. I can't believe they exist.
Yo, in Olympia, what's something you can't believe really exists?
What up, yo?
What up, Debo?
What's happening?
Well, in reference to a previous caller on Donald Trump being president, I can't believe that. And I also can't believe that someone made a teddy bear fashioned after Donald Trump called the Trumpy Bear.
There's a Trumpy bear?
Yes.
Oh, I bet people are just taking it home and doing weird stuff to it.
What do you do with
Crazy.
the teddy bear? I
I'm
mean, of
fixing
course
its
they are.
hair like a normal person, like a normal bear.
Jamie in Algona, what is it for you? Something you can't believe really exists?
So it's actually really cool. It's a Dutch artist. He created a machine that sucks in the smog in Beijing, China, and it creates diamonds. So it's cleaning the air, and he's selling the diamonds to make more machines.
What?
Science.
I think we're going to have to do a little research on
Well,
Jamie's smog
The
machine.
Smog diamond machine.
There are man-made diamonds that look exactly and feel exactly like regular diamonds. Yet, I got to tell you the truth, even though they're way more money at other places, I don't want a fake diamond, no whether who it could fool or anything. I want somebody mining in the earth to go back hundreds of thousands of years to where the coal was pressed. That's a diamond, not Chinese smog.
Yeah.
I just don't even understand how that could actually work. But, well, Jamie, we'll take your word for
The
it. We'll do the
Chinese
research.
make awesome barbecue duck, but diamonds, I say nay.
Dave in Tukwila, what's something you can't believe really exists?
A dude I can't believe exists, but he does. Hop a day for Fortnite!
Well, thank you for that, Hoppa
That's
Dave.
good. What about Tony in Kapowson?
I'm with Jim the Flagger. Have you ever seen a Bitcoin?
No, nobody's ever
No.
seen a
And
Bitcoin. They
by the
don't
way,
exist.
I don't like to appear stupid on this here radio show. I know it happens, but I don't like it. I don't understand exactly what a Bitcoin is, and I've tried to have it explained to me. I've read a little about it. I just don't get it all. I get artificial form of currency. Got
Yeah,
it.
that's
Right.
that's
Do you have
that's
any
all
on you?
anyone knows.
Can I borrow some?
Right, exactly.
Can
No,
I have a
it's-
cup of Bitcoins?
We can trade it electronically.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
like
can
it.
I tell you
Upside-
something super weird? There's a great coffee shop in Belltown called Drip City. They make a great cup of coffee. They had a new machine. I went in there over the weekend, and it was bigger than, say, a soda machine.
Yeah.
And I was like, why would they be selling sodas in here? What is this? It was a Bitcoin machine. I don't know what it does. Can you?
I don't know what it is.
It rolls your Bitcoins. You give them a big bucket of Bitcoins,
It
and it
comes out
rolls
of
them
it.
up. Yeah.
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah.
I went to Snoqualmie Casino not too long ago, and they have a new coffee machine that prints photographs in your phone.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I've
that's
seen that.
cool.
You just download the thing, and you
Yeah.
can down any picture that you want. You can download. You do a Playboy bunny if you want it in your phone.
Is that what you did?
No, I did my beautiful face. What do you think I did?
Not your wife's, yours.
No, mine.
Okay, just
Kidding?
checking. David and Bothell, what is something you can't believe really exists?
People that don't believe there were dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I met a guy. He actually said that he thought that people they buried these bones. They made up the bones out of plastic or whatever, and then buried them, and then showed it on camera of digging them up.
Yeah, I've heard that kind of stupid crap too.
Absolutely.
The other thing about the dinosaurs that is incorrect or what they say, there are people who challenge all most normal scientific beliefs, but really over the top religious people, as I'm concerned. And they go, oh no, there were dinosaurs. They just weren't 65 million years ago. They were 10,000 years ago. And
Yeah,
they just
or
insist.
2,000, yeah.
They insist there's a couple of thousand. Then nothing goes back past
Yeah.
the pyramids.
Yeah, I find that weird too when it's like 3,000. That's their year.
Yeah.
3,000 years old. Okay. Paul, what is something you can't believe really exists?
The poop emoji. Like,
Ah, nice one.
not only is there a cartoon poop, like pile of poop, but it seems to be everybody's favorite. Like
Yep.
he's smiling, people use it on everything.
Well, you know, I get my wife sends emojis. You send emojis sometimes, and it's hard sometimes to know exactly what the emoji might mean.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I have a friend, Paul Anderson. He sends me a baby's face kissing, so I send him back hearts. What do I care?
Yeah.
Now, you can think anything you want to think about that, but I send him a big pile of steaming poop. He's going to know what I mean.
It was pretty cute when you thought it was ice cream.
Yeah, chocolate ice cream. I'm not completely out of line here.
Tori, what is something you can't believe really exists?
Sinkholes. It's like we hear about them all the time, but have you actually seen one? No. I guess you die probably if you
I
fall.
guess I have not.
You don't
really
die
seen
if you've seen one.
Like I've seen video footage on
This
the
isn't that
news.
movie The Ring where you just look at something and then you die. But good point. I've never actually seen a sinkhole in life,
Nope.
just on the TV.
Nope.
But
Otherwise
I've seen
you'd be
China
dead.
on TV, and I'm pretty sure it's real.
Yeah.
Derek, something you can't believe really exists?
Vegan restaurants. There's like 7 vegans on the planet. How do these places stay in business?
Okay, we might have to check his math weirder than the senators. But no, I think you're right. There's a restaurant that Amy actually still takes me to occasionally, No Bones in Ballard. Have you ever been
I've
there?
not been.
It's not you got to know what to get because there's no meat in it. But
Can you ask for like a side of bacon?
I thought I was funny, and I was not.
Yeah.
But I got a side of bacon that wasn't terrible. And the
Oh, nice.
macaroni and yeast, actually pretty good.
Um,
Oh, look at the time. Hey, it's time for to get ready for Rockin' the Boat.
rocking the boat.
This is a 4-pack of tickets to the Seattle Boat Show and $25 to Zeke's Pizza. If you would like to win this fabulous prize, call 800-252-1025 now. We're playing Rockin' the Boat for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to the Seattle Boat Show, plus $25 to Zeke's Pizza. The Seattle Boat Show runs January 26th through February 3rd, and Danny will be out on the final day for the first mate tailgate party.
That sounds fun.
It does. I don't know what it is exactly, but it sounds fun.
It's going to be a good time. So if you would like to win your way in, you need to correctly identify who was rocking the boat. Let's get our contestant, Dave in Tacoma, ready.
Hiya, Dave in Tacoma.
Hey, Danny. How you doing, bro?
Very well, man. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I do.
All right. Do you understand the rules of the game?
Not really.
All right. I'll give you a clue. You tell me who it was that was rocking the boat, and then you win tickets. Now, do you understand the rules of the game?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Here we go, buddy. This beach bum was rocking the boat in 1977 when he finally broke into the mainstream with his 6th album, Changes in Latitudes, Changes in Attitudes, containing the enduring party standard Margaritaville. He went on to write many more sailing songs, consume more boat drinks, and make some pretty good investments, just like his big brother, Warren. Can you tell us who was rocking the boat?
Oh, God. That's that guy in Margaritaville. Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly who that is.
Pop my head.
Come on, you can do it.
Dave, you don't know the answer?
You know, cheese and rice.
Cheese and
We
rice.
now know what kind of guy
right,
Dave is.
Dave, I am
Thanks, Dave.
sorry, but thank you for playing.
I appreciate that you gave it a try, buddy.
Our next contestant is Chris in Lake Stevens. Chris, do you need Danny to read the clue again?
No, I got it.
All right, what is it?
Jimmy Buffett.
It is Jimmy Buffett. Changes in attitude, changes in latitude.
I thought for sure Big Brother Warren would have put it
Right over the
him
top?
over the edge. yes.
I was shocked because at first I went, "Oh man, is that really his brother? No wonder he's got so much dough."
It's his brother from another mother
Cousin.
There you
and
go.
father.
Right.
All right, there you go, Chris. You've won a 4-pack of tickets to the Seattle Boat Show and $25 to Zeke's Pizza. You can pick up your prize at the Jeep Winners window in our lobby. The rest of you join us again tomorrow at 7:20 for another exciting round of Rockin' the Boat.
This traffic report is brought to you by Walgreens. In Renton, we have some stop-and-go traffic on I-405 northbound between Highway 515 and 44th Street, and also on Highway 512 westbound at Highway 7 in Parkland. We have a disabled vehicle currently blocking the left lane. When is the best time for a cold? Never. Luckily, Walgreens is right around the corner with the right relief fast. Brands like Mucinex last for 12 hours. Swing by your local Walgreens today and start feeling better. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Well, you have heard me talk about the housing market in the news. You have heard me talk about my friends at American Financing. Well, if you are ready to buy a home, that's who you need to reach out to. And a recent Zillow analysis reports that the typical American homeowner has 40% of their wealth tied up in a home. So it makes home ownership sound like a really huge investment and an investment that's going to pay off. Especially if you're going to own your home for at least 5 years, you are going to get an incredible return on your investment, especially here in Seattle because it is a red hot real estate market. So you need to reach out to American Financing because they have salary-based mortgage consultants and they're going to help you get the best rate. They have competitively low interest rates and they are really going to help you get the home that is right for you. They have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and they are going to help you get into this red hot market. You can reach out to them by calling 206-204-3200 or americanfinancing.net, NMLS 182334.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by the UPS store. It's going to be another wet one today with highs in the upper 40s. Rain coming in this morning, and it's currently 47 downtown Seattle. Your P.O. box may be sending the wrong message. The UPS store gives you a real street address, package acceptance from all shipping carriers, and notifies you of their approval and provides 24-hour access. Visit theupsstore.com to find a location near you. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
It is not real until you hear it from me. Coming up, the big news of the day.
Some of the stories we'll be talking about another day, another clothing company in trouble for its T-shirts. And what company is apologizing for its latest ad? We'll tell you who they offended. And the Super Bowl is a few weeks away, but there is controversy already. Next.
And the big news of the day is brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE or go online to goldbergjones.com.
Well, we've got another problem with some T-shirts being sold online.
All right, another problem I think is in reference to the hoodie.
The hoodie was with H&M.
And they took a picture of a young, I don't know if he's African American because he might not have lived here. I think he was British. But they took a picture of a black kid wearing a hoodie that says cutest monkey in the jungle. Whether you find that offensive or not, how do you not know that's bad for business? How do you not know we're going to get flack for that?
Yeah.
We've had T-shirts getting in trouble because of its Hitler references, Nazi references.
When I was a kid, a very favorite T-shirt that people used to wear that made people mad was it was two pigs, one pig on top of the other pig, and a slogan under it said "Making Bacon," and everybody thought that was the height of comedy, and it was making all sorts of parents and teachers mad.
Well, it seems like a lot of controversial T-shirts are being made, and in this case, Amazon has now pulled a number of items for sale on its website that has the saying, "Slavery gets stuff done." Stuff is actually a swear word. Slavery gets stuff done.
Yeah, swear word or not, come on.
No, what? What?
Yeah.
Now, this isn't Amazon that was selling it. This was a third-party seller that
Yes.
Amazon doesn't pre-approve the products when they go up.
That is correct. Now,
so it's a crazy, is it alt-right, far-right
Yeah,
Well, it's
either.
either one of those. Okay, it's
Yeah.
an alt-right crazy group. Okay, so I'm not mad at Amazon then.
You are not mad at Amazon, but there were several different items for sale with the slogan "Slavery gets stuff done," with a background image of what
Well,
appears to be Egyptian pyramids.
That's what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. That's where they're going to go with that.
Right. Still offensive.
Still totally offensive.
Yeah.
You know, that was built on the back of Jewish slaves. This, the slavery that we know as Americans, usually on African backs. But, they say time will tell. Well, it's been about 3,000 years since we built them pyramids, and I'll bet those guys are still mad about it. I'd be mad about it.
Yeah. Amazon has said this was third party. They have removed them. And
What's the upside of that T-shirt or whatever it is, parking sticker or whatever it is? What are you trying to promote?
I think they're just trying to sell it. They're just trying to make some money off selling the shirt.
And there's a store called Party City.
Yeah.
It's pretty big, as in.
Isn't there one here right on 15th?
I don't know that that's a Party City.
Okay, but yeah, okay, I know what it is.
Party City, I think the one that you're thinking of right down the street is costumes.
It is.
More for costumes. No, Party City is where you would go and get balloons and plates and streamers, anything you would need for a party. And when you go in there, they're huge stores, like the size of a Toys R Us. They're really,
Yeah.
really big stores.
And different themed sections. Like you could go in right now and get 4th of July stuff.
Yep. Graduation, whatever it is,
Yeah.
if you are throwing any kind of party on planet Earth, you will find it at Party City. But they had a commercial that sounds like this.
This looks incredible, right? Yes. What is that? Those are some gluten-free options. Do we even know people that are like that? Tina? Oh, gross. Yeah.
Ew, gross. Well, this
so
was
they
for
had like
Super
a
Bowl parties.
spread of food for a Super Bowl party
Yep.
or some kind of party. And those were the gluten-free options, and whoever eats that is
What
gross.
were the gluten-free options?
It's a promotion for Super Bowl party. What do
Right.
you have at a Super Bowl party? Food. So
I thought
it's
they were calling Tina and/or Becky, whoever it was, gross.
Yeah, that's what it
Yes.
sounds like, yeah.
for being gluten-free.
Right?
Well, they have now apologized, saying they should not be calling out anyone who is gluten-free or who potentially has celiac disease. They have removed the commercial and are apologizing.
I got a bunch of members of my family that have celiac disease and actually have it. They're not just being a huge pain in the ass, and I think they're still a huge pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't trust it. But I don't. That's not what I got from that. Can you play that commercial? Who plays it? You or Derek?
Derek.
Derek, can you play
This
that?
looks incredible, right? Yes. What is that? Those are some gluten-free options. Do we even know people that are like that? Tina? Oh, gross. Yeah.
No, I think they're calling Tina gross.
Yeah, that's
Not
what
the
I'm
food.
getting as well.
Yeah, not the options.
Right.
And Tina is gross. She's a tramp.
She's gross for
Sleeps
being
around.
for having
To gluten or is making the choice to be gluten-free. They've apologized, pulled the commercial, and said they will be making a donation in support of the celiac disease research.
God, we are such punks, man. We are such punks. But I will tell you this: we're in business. If anything I said offended anybody seriously, because I find getting offended by me to be humorous. At the very least, that you take anything I say seriously. But if I said something that I didn't care anything about, and you said I'll never listen to your station again, I'd say I am so sorry. Can I come by your kid's birthday party and make balloon animals? What can I do to make this right? I just don't care. So I don't think these people care at Party City. I just think they
Right.
apologize.
A lot of you want to eat at In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, we do.
I do.
I got
lot
a
of-
wife that's out of her mind. I think she's going to leave me for Paul just because they're going to run off the In and Out.
Well, a lot of people want to eat there. A lot of people listening would love to have an In-N-Out Burger here in Washington. But a lot of you, after hearing this story, might want to work at In-N-Out Burger as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to smell like fries all the time.
In-N-Out Burger revealed the salary of its managers in a recent interview with the California Sun. According to the report, In-N-Out Burgers pays their managers more than $160,000 a year.
I was going to say fine with me up to a certain price.
Yeah.
And then that went way past that. Because remember the guy at Costco I thought should be making $300,000 because of what he could, handle all at one time.
Right.
There's stuff going on at In-N-Out. So I wanted animal style. Oh, I went protein style. There's a lot of things that could go wrong at an In-N-Out. You could go out when you mean in. I don't know. It's all upside down.
But I mean, if a business is wildly successful, why shouldn't the employees share in that success?
Yes.
It's more than triple the fast food industry average.
Yeah.
So either
It's more than triple yumminess of the fast food.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't even agree with that. I'm just making an argument. Because I don't get why it's so out of control. The most amazing thing, it's a burger. It's fine. But if you want to pay them 165 grand, that's great. But I do think they're working their crazy butts off. And now I think there's always drama. You got a little headset on, people are yelling at you.
Although I do feel like if that guy was paid 80 grand a year, which is still a pretty decent chunk of change, that maybe my In-N-Out burger would be half price, and I wouldn't mind that at
So
all.
what is the price point for In-N-Out Burger? I've never been to one.
It's pricier than say a McDonald's or some sort of like drive-through fast food, but it's not
Twice, 3 times as much?
Not quite twice. I wouldn't think.
I think twice McDonald's or close to twice McDonald's.
So a double is going to cost you $3.45, a cheeseburger $2.40, and a hamburger $2.10.
No, that's way less than I thought.
Yeah.
That's way
That's
less.
a lot less than I would have
I
expected.
thought $7.
Yeah. $5.99 at least.
$5.99. You out of your mind?
On to the Super Bowl. The NFL have rejected an ad for its Super Bowl program. So not commercial.
Like the playbill?
Yes.
Oh, I thought I was being funny.
No, you get a paper program when you go to the Super Bowl. And
Do I get a corsage? What is this?
Do you get it or do you have to pay for it? Like you pay, $8 grand for your seat and then it's another 25
There's
bucks
not
for the
some weird
program.
guy frisking my package and then giving me a flyer.
the point is, this is a paper publication.
It's not
this
on
is not a
TV.
TV commercial. The NFL has rejected an ad for its Super Bowl program from a veterans group that urged fans to please stand during the national anthem. Now, the people who put this forward said they want to know, they want people to stand. This is a veterans group. But NFL's Commissioner Roger Goodell said, we will not be accepting this because...
So for $50 million, that's what Goodell does. This is his first thing that I'm hearing about since he got his $200 million contract. First thing he says, oh, no, we can't ask our patrons to stand for the national anthem.
He said because it's a political statement and they do not accept any political ads.
I think it's a request. And I think they accepted NFL in being political when Kaepernick refused to stand up. The NFL made it political, not us.
Well, he says that a player did. They can't dictate what a player does.
Wrong. You can dictate what a player does. They have a contract with morals clauses in it.
They have a contract that does not address standing or sitting during the national anthem, so they can't
Not
enforce
specifically,
it.
but I disagree. There's things behavior. No, and it was on the news that they can demand that they stand or bench them. They can. Of course they can.
Okay, well, I don't believe that to be true. But the NFL said we view this as a political statement, so we will not accept this ask for an ad in the Super Bowl program. So pretty controversial story today because, of course, this veterans group is not happy with this decision.
They're still going to say in the stadium, I mean, the public address guy says, please rise. for
And
the
I
national
don't know who
anthem."
doesn't, except people trying to make some
Right.
other kind of statement.
That's the big news of the day, and it's brought to you by Goldberg Jones, Divorce for Men at 1-800-DIVORCE or online at goldbergjones.com.
Hey, there's more coming up. It's Jelly Bean's Joke of the Week.
Charlie Bean's joke of the week.
Good morning, Uncle Daddy.
Good morning.
I've got a really great joke for you, okay?
Okay, let's hear it.
How much does it cost for a pirate to get his ears pierced?
All right. I thought I could figure it out, but I can't, baby. How much does it cost for a pirate to get his ears pierced?
About a buccaneer.
That's a great joke.
Get it?
Yeah,
A buccaneer?
no, I get it.
I told you this was a funny one.
You were right, kiddo.
This traffic report is brought to you by Walgreens. In Bothell on I-405 southbound at Highway 527, we had an earlier accident that has been cleared, but you're still seeing some stop-and-go traffic through that area. And in Renton on 405 northbound between Highway 515 and 44th Street, also seeing about a 20-minute delay there due to some stop-and-go traffic as well. When is the best time for a cold? Never. Luckily, Walgreens is right around the corner with the right relief fast. Brands like Mucinex last for 12 hours. Swing by your local Walgreens today and start feeling better. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
All right, right here we got a little thing. It's called, by the way, it's 8:03 in the morning. We got a thing called money for nothing. And I don't know what your principles are, but I'm a fan of that thought. Money
Yeah.
for nothing is the way to go. 16 times a day, you've got a shot at $1,000 with money for nothing right here on KZOK. Listen for the new keyword. Every hour, we're going to give you a new keyword. Then you text that on in, and you can win just that easily 16 times a day. Get all the details of the contest at KZOK.com.
And hard to believe it wasn't Florida news. Some adult brothers got busted after a violent fight over cheesecake.
See, I can see it.
Yeah.
I don't even particularly love cheesecake, but it looks as delicious. It looks to me more delicious than it is because I don't care for it. It looks like the greatest thing in the whole world. And if somebody was reaching for the last slice of that in my house and it tasted as good as
Yeah.
it looked, I'd stab him in the arm.
Yeah. I can
Now, my
see it.
family's a bunch of stabbers. Everybody in my family's been stabbed by another member of my family.
Now, is it over dumb stuff, though? Because this was a legit fight, just like you're describing with stabbing. There was a knife involved over cheesecake and the portion size.
My brother John, when he was maybe 18, 19 years old, turned to my dad in a Chinese restaurant and he said, "You know what? I think the Industrial Revolution started with the invention of fire." And my dad stabbed him in the chest with a fork.
Because he thought he
'Cause
was
he
wrong.
disagreed.
Thought he thought he was all artsy fartsy and shut up.
Oh.
It started in 1872 or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. The last time my brother Anthony beat me up, I went and saw him in Italy where he was living. I was 17. It was a high school graduation thing. He told me how to play gin because I didn't know how to play. He won 13 games in a row, and then I won one, and he insisted I cheated, dragged me outside to a park and beat me up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So you have fought over the Industrial Revolution and the card game gin.
Yeah, if I could combine those two, I would. But yeah, no, I'd fight over stupid stuff like that all the time.
But that's what happens when you have siblings. But, poor Tori is an only child. She does not know the displeasure of fighting with a sibling over something really dumb.
Yeah, but she also doesn't have to live in hand-me-downs.
This is also
Yeah.
true. Well, you guys listening, dumb or not, what was the reason you fought with a sibling? Let us know by calling 800-252-1025.
All right, so a grown man, I believe, stabbed his brother over cheesecake. Now, I don't love cheesecake as much as that guy, but every member of my family has stabbed another member of my family, usually with a fork, by the way, because that way you're not causing an imminent death. But what is the last time that you fought with a sibling over anything? 1-800-252-1025.
Yeah, the great thing is when you grow up with a sibling, you fight over some really dumb stuff.
Yes, you do.
And sometimes these two were adults, so you can fight with an adult, or when you were a kid, the stuff you fought with siblings about, we've all got stories. Yo, and Olympia, I'm sure you've got one.
Oh, I absolutely have one.
All right, yo, what do you got?
Well, I love my sister, and we don't fight now. But when we were kids, I would get her so riled up that she kicked me in the shin one time so hard that she broke her toe.
Wow, there's injuries all across the board on this sister fight.
The greatest part of fighting with a sibling, too, is sometimes you have no idea what you're even fighting about.
I've been there, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo and her sister, I just used to get her riled up. So you're really fighting about nothing.
Bones were broken.
Absolutely. Victoria in Shelton, dumb or not, what was the reason you fought with a sibling?
Hey, Victoria.
Hi. We fought over toilet seat.
Now, you know what? I am very attached, pardon the expression, to my toilet seat. It gets warm, water sprays. There's
That doesn't
a
seem
mister.
healthy.
Yeah, but that is. Why did you fight over your toilet seat?
When you grow up in a house with 5 girls and 3 boys, and they constantly leave the toilet seat up, and you go into the bathroom in the middle of the night, it's not fun.
Nope.
No, I never really got what the thing is with putting the toilet seat down. You put it down. Why are you yelling at me? So what? I forgot. Put it down. But my ex-wife, who was a ridiculously skinny person, she went in the middle of the night, didn't see that it was up, sat down, and got lodged in there. Aside from the all totally as not sanitized part
Ew.
being I'm grossed out stuck in a toilet seat,
Yeah.
but also cold, wet, icky, gross.
Yep.
So I get it a little bit.
Michael in Maple Valley, dumb or not, what was the reason you fought with a sibling?
Well, I can't even remember the reason why we fought, but I riled up my sister. I was about 3 years older, and she hit me in the head with a hammer.
Oh,
Okay, that's riled. I'm surprised you don't remember why your sister tried to murder you.
I would remember.
I remember. Well, unless brain damage. She hit him in the head with a hammer.
yeah.
Maybe that's why he doesn't
He
remember.
just doesn't remember that
Yeah,
day
remember
or
your
that
sister's
month.
name? No, not clearly.
Sal in Seattle, good morning.
Hey.
Good morning.
Morning.
Would you like to tell us the reason you fought with a sibling?
Last time I fought with my brother, Steven, was over a toothbrush. this
Ew.
morning.
Now, wait. Oh, this morning. What was the fight?
My toothbrush. Tell him he was using my toothbrush.
That is gross.
Yeah.
That is gross. Anybody ever had a guest sleep over that you don't necessarily know well enough for this and you just get up and they're using your toothbrush?
Ew.
Like, hey.
No.
That's so gross.
Dude, young lady, I realize that we are intimate enough to have just had sex, but don't put my toothbrush in your gross I had sex with you mouth.
Especially.
I know where that mouth has been.
Right.
On a Bonaducci. That's disgusting.
Sal's mom loved this show till about 2 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Sal's mom's a big fan of the show.
But Sal and Steve fighting over a toothbrush. Sal's the winner because you should not use your brother or sister's toothbrush.
No, you're the loser
Well,
because your brother already has your toothbrush
Yeah.
in their mouth. You can't win that fight.
There's two different things between winning and being right or wrong. Of course, Sal's right, but his brother Steve won.
Yeah, ew.
Ew.
Unless, of course, Sal was really smart and used that to scrub the toilet bowl before Steve used it.
Well, there's something just wrong with you.
Ken in Seattle, dumb or not, what was the reason you fought with a sibling?
Good morning, you people.
What do you mean, people?
My brother, I was just like, my brother and I he would just rile me up so much where I'd always, threaten him. If he ever said this again or if he did that again, I'd punch him. And then he'd just sit there and then he'd just say it again and I'd just haul off and punch him and he'd always look shocked. And then one time my dad was standing in between us and my brother was just bickering at me, just egging me on. And I finally just told him, I said, say it again and I'm going to punch you. And he says it again, and I swing as hard as I can to knock him out. And my dad leaned forward and took it right in the jaw.
Oh, that's going to be a fight for centuries. Remember when you hit your father?
Yeah.
You're never going to recover from that.
My brothers got into a big fight over me. My parents were going to a party, and they said, you guys have to babysit. And they got into an argument and they said, well, why do both of us need to? I want to go to a party. So my parents said, okay, Kyle, you can go to the party. David, you're the oldest. You have to babysit. They got into a huge argument after my parents left. Kyle leaves. My brother is so mad that he has to babysit me. He grabs me by the arm, yanks me upstairs because he wants to lock me in my bedroom so he can go to the party. Pulled my arm out of its socket.
Oh.
And had to call my parents and take me to the hospital.
I question the way Sarah was brought up sometimes.
Yeah.
Bones out of sockets. Because you just go, well, what about you, Bones? Well, clearly, I mean, we didn't use the word abuse. Of course we were abused. No toys and sockets?
My brother yanked my arm out of its socket, and man, that did not feel good. And Paul, you've got like 1,000 brothers and sisters, right? What was a dumb fight?
Dude, 3 older sisters and an older brother, so I was fighting constantly. But my sister Christy and I were closest in age, and so we fought most often. And when I remember when I was like 4, so she was 6 or 7, and we were standing across from each other and fighting over which hand was your right hand and which hand was your left hand for like 5 minutes before we realized that if you're facing each other, they're opposite. So we were both right.
Please tell me you were kids.
My mom, I was 4, she was 6. I think my mom came up and smacked one of us across the head and said, "You're both right, you idiots."
Super funny.
The last time
And
my dad hit me, just full on punched me right in the face. He was being a crazy bro. I had a friend over from high school. We went to visit him. We went to stop by his house. And he started being really mean to my brother Anthony and growling like he does. And I turned to Dave and I said, "Hey, man, don't be embarrassed. He does this all the time." My dad goes, "Apologize for your father," and clacked me right in the head, right in front of a high school buddy. And then that was the talk of school.
Tom calling from Mount Vernon. Dumb or not, what was the reason you fought with a sibling?
Oh, yeah. I stabbed my brother in the back of the hand with a fork because he was trying to steal a last piece of bacon off my plate.
Yeah, I'm completely down with you, Tom.
Yeah, totally on Tom's
How did
side.
your brother not know that was coming?
Right.
It's the last piece of bacon, and the other guy has a fork. How do you know you're not going to get what I like to call tommed?
Right, exactly.
Well, I realize why Tori has so many weird pets. It's because she did not grow up with any siblings. No brothers or sisters to fight with. Derek, is that the same with you? Are you an only child?
Yes, I am.
Explains a lot about them, wouldn't
It
you say?
does really.
Yeah.
This traffic report is brought to you by CHI Franciscan Health. In Federal Way on I-5 northbound as you approach 272nd Street, we do have an accident blocking the carpool lane. And in Seattle on I-5 southbound at the Ship Canal Bridge, we have a disabled vehicle currently blocking the center lane. They help bring thousands of new family members into the Great Pacific Northwest every year with advanced maternity care and a wide range of birthing options tailored just for you. chifranciscan.org/women's. Northwest Healthy. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
Love is a gift, and only one jeweler in town has the best romantic gifts to make this Valentine's Day truly unforgettable, and that's Shane Company. One piece that really caught my eye from this collection is the modern heart necklace, retailing for $575. It's sleek, it's got a modern shape, and it's lined with 40 hand-matched diamonds. It's really beautiful. And did you know that only the world's most talented stonecutters can cut heart-shaped diamonds, rubies, and sapphires with perfect proportion? And you will find them at Shane Company. Now, if you go to Shane Company, you're going to find a family-owned jeweler. 4 generations in the jewelry business. You need to go visit Shane Company in Linwood if you are looking for something truly special for this Valentine's Day season. Now, they've got a lot of different pendants, but they've also got bracelets and necklaces. Everything is hand matched to Tom Shane's standards. Really beautiful. Everything is picked by hand. Go on up there for Valentine's Day or shop at shaneco.com. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business, Shane Company.
This is Tori with your weather report brought to you by CHI Franciscan. You're looking at rain for most of the day, highs in the upper 40s, and it's currently 47 downtown Seattle. CHI Franciscan helps bring thousands of new family members into the great Pacific Northwest every year with advanced maternity care and a wide range of birthing options tailored just for you. chifranciscan.org/women's Northwest Healthy. Now back to Danny Bonaducci and Sarah on 102.5 KZOK.
A man was burned all over his body this morning as multiple propane tanks began exploding in the woods between Monroe and Sultan. Firefighters from the Snohomish County Fire District responded to the scene on 176th Place about 6 a.m. They'd received reports of a propane tank fire. After arriving at the scene, they found a man with burns all over.
Oh.
He was rushed to the hospital. We do not have an update on his condition. During the rescue, propane tanks were exploding in the woods nearby. Crews began fighting the blaze with a defensive strategy due to the high danger.
So they just started blowing up once some started caught fire? I didn't know that was actually a real thing. I thought that might be a thing in the movies.
Yeah.
So you set those puppies on fire, they blow up?
Or if one catches fire, then, yeah, they blow up.
Wow.
According to
I
the
totally didn't know that.
fire spokesman, this appears to be some kind of encampment. They're not sure if there's an actual home structure in this area.
So, wait, okay, I've got this all wrong. Do you think the propane tanks were the small kind used for encampments? See, in my head, I've got some factory on fire.
I've got the kind that you would put on your gas grill.
Right, now I see that. Yeah, I still didn't know those would even blow up if they caught fire because it's, you gotta take your life in your hands when you're trying to make a burger or something. Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad you don't have experience with that.
I do not.
And Tacoma police want your help finding the man who set Gravity Coffee on fire in Tacoma. There's surveillance video that shows the man wearing a North Face jacket and a beanie. He goes up to the Gravity Coffee stand on Center Street just after the last employee closes up for the evening and leaves. He waits for that employee to leave, then he approaches the building, uses what appears to be a gun to break the window. Then he leaves the building.
By shooting it or hammering with it?
He used it to hammer out the pane. He then leaves the building and came back with a gas canister and lit the place on fire.
And my big question is, how does an arsonist afford a North Face jacket?
Yeah.
I can't have a North Face jacket. I got knockoffs. I've got Look North, but I don't have an actual North Face.
North back of the head.
Yeah, see, I don't have any of the good ones.
Tacoma police are asking anyone with information behind this fire to call 911.
A lot of fire in the news today.
Yeah.
Officials are looking into the logistics of a high-speed train from Spokane to Tacoma. The Washington Department of Transportation published a study that looks at how well an ultra-high-speed train system would work in the Cascadia mega region, which is a 350-mile stretch between Portland, Seattle, and Vancouver. They said the east-west corridor would be a possible line, could then connect to the BNSF main line in Seattle. Now they're trying to take a look at this to see, could it happen? Is it safe? Currently, trains go about 90 miles an hour. Here in Seattle, they said Spokane to Seattle is usually 76 miles per hour.
So who is this marketed to?
People who want to get out of Tacoma and Spokane really quickly.
See, the big thing is to Portland to Vancouver, I think. And the one to Spokane is an offshoot of that. But I still don't know who's paying for that. They say it's $24 billion. I don't see
That's
enough.
a pipe dream at this point.
Yeah, I don't see enough business to pay for that.
But we don't presently have an easy way to get to Eastern Washington. Now, if people wanted to go to Eastern Washington, what does it take? 6 hours to drive to Spokane?
Yeah, it's 5-6 hours to go to Spokane.
Jeez.
Yeah. So if there was a train option.
I'm all about these high-speed trains, even the Hyperloop. I'm certainly behind. But they've got me, I think, in Portland to Vancouver in an hour and a half with this particular dream that they're talking about. I would love that. Because that means that we're there in 45 minutes.
In North and South, obviously, is the biggest demand, but because they already have traffic on those rails, they've got to build completely separate rails for that.
I have a terrible story making national news. A skydiver was killed after he slammed into the roof of a California home after it appears his main parachute didn't open. Witnesses say he hit the roof pretty hard. His orange emergency chute did get pulled, but did not soften the impact. It opened up right before he fell into the residence.
Jeez.
This was in a place called Paris, California.
Oh, I've jumped there.
That is where a lot of the skydiving schools are. They said it's a very big hotspot for skydiving.
That may be the first place I jumped. I'm not sure.
They have had 3 parachuting deaths in Paris over the past 5 years. So glad you're over it.
No, it's not that bad, really. People, it's a mecca. Thousands and thousands and thousands of jumpers have jumped, and 3 deaths in 5 years. I don't think it's that bad.
Last year, 3.2 million jumps occurred. 21 people died.
Yeah, those are
That's
fine odds
overall.
with me.
So 3 of those in the past 5 years have been in Paris. The U.S. Secret Service agents arrested the owner of a suspicious vehicle that was parked near the White House yesterday morning. The suspect was found with an unlicensed pistol. They knew that somebody had been parked there. You know, there's tons of places you can't loiter or park right around the White House.
Yeah, sure.
They said, okay, let's go talk to this dude. What's that in your pocket? It's a loaded firearm. Let's see the license. He did not have one, so he was arrested.
Has he given any reason why he was there with a gun?
Not yet.
Wow.
No. Probably going to guess he's not speaking.
Thank God for the Secret Servants.
There's so many jokes I could make that I will refrain
Good,
from.
I think you should.
A physical education teacher at an elementary school outraged parents and upset students when something a little unusual happened. School started, and the clothes came off.
Well, that's a little unusual.
Him or the kids, or her, or the teacher or the kids?
The PE teacher, who is a man.
Oh.
He said, okay, it's time to play. Let's go, kids. And then wanted to run around with them.
Right.
Took off all his clothes.
That'll get them moving, though, I think. If you're trying to get the kids to run more, be more active.
Wow, man. This is a grown man with naked children who are playing songs.
No, the children, we've established the children are clothed.
Right, but
He's
they're
naked,
right there in a room with a naked man.
He shouldn't do it. But I would run from a naked man, wouldn't you?
I haven't.
No.
Parents said all the kids saw his private parts. This was very embarrassing. We're very upset.
Yeah.
They are working with mental health authorities to
And Van Halen,
figure
apparently.
it out. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are hot for this teacher.
No.
Saudi Arabia is holding its annual month-long camel festival.
All right.
But cheaters are not welcome. People have been cheating in
On
the
their camels?
Yes. No. Yeah. Well, sort of. People have been giving their camels Botox injections in an attempt to win the camel beauty pageants.
I gave my camel Botox injections, and then she divorced me. Something about
I don't know what that means, but
something
it's very
about
funny.
the hump.
They have beauty contests?
They do.
Yeah,
The
I've
hottest
seen 'em.
camel?
They do.
I mean, they're all hot. It's like 120 degrees.
I watch the Travel Channel so much. I have seen this actual contest on more
Really?
than one occasion.
I thought like it would be a race or something. Not
They
a
have
beauty
those
contest.
too.
Okay.
And there are no jockeys anymore. They have robots that beat the camels.
Wow.
They ride on the camels and beat them.
Wow.
Super weird what's going on there.
Well, and people do ride camels over there, like
Sure, yeah.
recreationally as a tourist.
They're
You can
doing
go over and
transportation.
Ride a camel, yep. But they also have a beauty contest, and that is about the full lips, the nose, the jaw, and that they have been giving them Botox to make them look puffier and bigger and beautiful.
Do they rate the humps?
I know I do. Like right out of 2006.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone would know the answer to this, but why do some camels have one hump and some have two?
Math. different kind. They're a different breed.
Okay. Now, if it's only got one hump, you can still ride it, but you got to ride its neck?
No, you ride the hump.
You're up on top of the hump as
Yeah.
opposed
You put
to
a
in between
saddle
the
on.
humps. All right.
Do you have to?
I think it'd be easier.
Seems
You're
like
gonna
a
slip
ton of
off.
work,
I'm gonna
but
fall off.
I think you can hang on a camel. They're huge.
Toys R Us is planning to shutter nearly one.
It's not a camel. That's a giraffe. I mean, they both have like a long neck.
Yeah, I like that, Jeffrey.
Toys R Us, unfortunately, will be closing roughly 180 stores around the country, or 1/5 of its stores, in a bid to restructure and emerge from bankruptcy protection.
So they have close to 1,000 stores.
Believe
right
it or
now?
not.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, some here will be closing. The one on Randall Way in Silverdale, the Everett Mall in Everett, and one in Spokane as well. Toys R Us closing up.
Quick, use that high-speed train to get to the Toys R Us in Spokane.
A Missouri State University student was on Tinder and saw a woman named Claudia. And he's like, wow, Claudia, yeah. But he accidentally swiped the wrong direction. He swiped left when he meant to swipe right.
Oh, you got to swipe one direction. You get Harry Styles.
Well, he knew she was a Missouri State student. He knew her name was Claudia. So he set out to find her to fix his wrong.
Oh, I don't know how this one goes, but I love this kind of story. Even if it doesn't work out, I like this kind of story where I don't know what is that thing on Craigslist, missed opportunities.
Misconnection.
I've never seen it, but I've heard people talk about, I saw you on the Brooklyn Bridge, you were wearing a white hat and pink eyeglasses or something. Yeah.
Well, there were 22 Claudias on the college campus. He emailed everyone offering to take the one that got away out for donuts. He was able to find the right Claudia, and she has agreed to the donut date.
Oh, that's lovely. I don't know why you do that.
Everybody loves donuts.
That's not true.
Yes,
It's not?
Some people like pie.
You can like pie and donuts.
No, you can't. It's a law. Well, I think it's a
We'll
lovely
agree
story.
to disagree on that
So
one.
they found Claudia.
love, yeah.
I went on a date with a girl in Mexico one time whose name was Claudia, and I think years after I realized that was a man. There's no way that
It
wasn't
was
a man.
Claudio.
It was Claudio,
Yeah.
yeah. That he said, or she said at the time, she was dressed as a girl, looked very pretty, and she said, I said, hi, what's your name? And she said, Claudia. And I should have known right there, but I think I went on a date with a guy one time in Mexico.
And the other time here.
No. Did I go on a date with a guy named Claudia in Seattle?
Oh, no. Oh, I mean, here in just in the United
Phoenix.
States.
You mean
Oh,
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
I mean
Yeah.
Phoenix.
There were no donuts there.
There are no donuts.
But there was pie. According to Wallet Hub, they have looked at a couple of different criteria and found the most and least educated states in the U.S. of A.
State of confusion. That's my vote.
Would anyone like to hazard a guess? The most educated state in the USA?
Washington.
Washington, D.C. That's a joke. It's not a state.
Yeah, right? Toledo.
Massachusetts.
Oh,
is
yeah.
the most.
Most educated.
And that's because they have Harvard and MIT.
Yeah, most likely.
That makes sense.
And, you know, the blue bloods, people, education important. Number 2 was Maryland, followed by Connecticut.
Maryland is number
Maryland?
Most educated at number 2.
I would have not guessed that in a bazillion years.
I guess Maryland's number 2.
Yes, me too.
Well, remember, though,
Especially Baltimore.
a lot of people who live and work in Washington, D.C. actually live in Maryland.
Yeah.
So when I said live in
So you were
DC,
right
I
there.
I
lied.
was absolutely right.
Yeah.
Look at me go.
Connecticut, Vermont, and Colorado wrapping up the top 5 most educated on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Mississippi. Arkansas.
Yep, Mississippi.
Very nice, Paul.
Least educated is Mississippi, followed by West Virginia.
It's because they go right at an early age realize I'm never going to learn to spell this state. I'm never going to
Exactly,
learn to spell
yeah,
it. Well, there's 9 I's in this thing. What is
Yeah.
how many is this?
Can I buy a vowel?
Yeah.
Louisiana at number 3. Arkansas at number 4. Alabama, the 5th least educated state. Washington,
Yeah.
9th most educated.
Oh, that's very good.
Very
That's not bad.
Oregon was 15. Idaho was 37. Not so good. In Canada, there is...
They're like the 27th most educated state.
You know, why isn't that just the 54th giant state?
Right, yeah.
Why is Canada a country? That's
I don't know.
silliness.
There's a crazy video that has surfaced from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in Alberta. They, too, have dash cams. This video...
On their horses?
Sit on the chest of the horse, exactly.
So this is a police in Canada, and this video shows the officer pulling over a car. He's in a car. He pulls over the car. He gets out of his vehicle, and he walks over, and you can see on the dash cam video, he's writing the guy a ticket. When behind him saunters past a mountain lion. And the mountain lion crosses the street and
Why?
walks into a grocery store.
Walks into a grocery store?
Yep. So this video is really wild. You can see it right now at KZOK.com.
That has to be the setup for a joke. So a mountain lion passes a Mountie
I
on his
tried
way
it.
to the bar.
I said, why did the mountain lion cross the road? And
Right.
apparently the answer is to go to a convenience store, and now there's really not that big of a gag there anymore.
Is a mountain lion and a cougar the same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
Oh, they are?
Well, because they posted to social media, a cougar was spotted walking through Banff, and then they posted this video that shows a mountain lion or a cougar.
I'll bamf that cat. Bamf! I'm like the Emerald Lagasse of punching mountain lions.
Yeah, you would lose.
Not
It's-
a chance.
It's so Canadian, though, that they're just like, yeah. There's a cougar.
The clerk in the store is like,
Yeah.
"What can I get for you
Sup?
today?"
What flavor Slurpee would you like? So
They don't have
KZOK.com.
Slurpees in Canada, right?
No, but they have a Navy.
Yeah, they do.
Craziness, man. What's up with everybody?
Well, I have a story that is bound to generate a from Danny Bonaducci.
I was trying not to today because I all day yesterday.
Yeah,
You'd say
a lot
and I'd say
yesterday.
You all day, every
I
day.
did. That's not true. I sometimes, but I'm pooping less today. Wait, not.
TMI.
Yeah.
All right. It's a man who is perhaps living one of Danny Bonaducci's dreams.
Oh, he's throwing himself the old winning touchdown.
After getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
That is not a dream.
With his wife, Taylor
waiting.
Swift.
Okay, so this guy is on an Air France flight, an international flight.
Do the Air France flights have hair under the wings? Weird. Wow.
All right, this is a flight that generated in India and was on its way to Cleveland. This is a man
Why?
who is
Yeah,
a
that's a whole lot of stuff
doctor
going on.
in Cleveland.
He's a doctor in Cleveland.
Yes.
All right.
So this flight goes from India to Paris to New York to Cleveland. Okay.
What a day.
Long day of flying. Well, this flight was going along as planned when somebody said, "Is there a doctor on board?" He raised his hand and
I
says,
stood up so fast.
Yeah, you would.
he says, "Yes, I am indeed a doctor." There was a woman who had gone into labor. Now, they had made it to Paris. Then from Paris, they were heading back to the United States, but they were getting close to Greenland. They're like, what should we do? Do we need to stop in Greenland? And he said, I don't think we're going to have time for that. Delivered the baby right there on the airplane.
Oh, that's lovely.
They thanked him. They gave him a bottle of champagne and a travel voucher. I don't think she got anything.
How good of a, well, she got something. She was pregnant. How good of a voucher?
You know, they didn't disclose. I was wondering the same
I
thing.
want at the minimum 2 free first class flights to somewhere.
I think so too.
At the very least.
Yeah, it's got to be a flight for two in business. Or
First class, yeah.
Absolutely. So you're not jealous?
Oh, yeah. Somebody delivered a baby in a plane and rescued hostages. I'm very upset.
You got bit by a shark,
Probably
too.
fought a
That's
cougar.
crazy.
I don't know.
When we come back, we've got music news, entertainment, and sports. We have got a, I don't know if I would say upsetting, but maybe for some people, a very upsetting story about a rock legend who has decided to hang it up.
No!
Yeah. And a very sad passing from the world of reality TV. And we have got all the latest sports news coming up next.
This traffic report is brought to you by Muckleshoot Casino. In Federal Way on I-5 northbound as you approach 272nd Street, we have an accident currently blocking the shoulder. And in Shoreline on I-5 southbound near Highway 104, we have an accident that is currently blocking 2 lanes, causing about a 15-minute delay. When you win your share of nearly $50,000 in tech prizes with Muckleshoot Casino's Tech Hot Card, just use your Players Club card every Thursday in January between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. for a chance to win. Visit muckleshootcasino.com for details. I'm Derek, and that's your look at traffic on 102.5 KZOK.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, better known as Jazz Fest, announced its main lineup for this year, and it's a doozy of a show. 2 weekends, April 27th and May 6th, and some of the bands who will be there, Aerosmith, the Steve Miller Band, and Sting.
No bigger names in jazz.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking this whole I'm waiting for the jazz
Aerosmith,
names to
yeah.
burst out.
It's been sort of the tradition with Jazz Fest. There is a lot of jazz, but people are so into it that there's a ton of rock bands that go every year.
There's certain things you hesitate to say because you don't wish to appear stupid and or uncouth or uncultured, but I hate jazz. I don't like jazz even a little bit.
Let's see, David Byrne, Bonnie Raitt, Sheryl Crow, Jack White,
Wow.
Jimmy Buffett, Beck, Aretha Franklin, and Lionel Richie also will be performing.
I'd see all those guys.
Yeah.
Well, somebody you may not get to see again, Elton John. There is a report out this morning that he said he is giving touring one last shot and then saying farewell to live performances.
Well, giving it one last shot to do what? Is he going to accomplish something? Like, I'm going to give one last shot till it's fun. One last shot till I feel better.
If I'm not successful.
Yeah.
Nope, just one more tour.
Oh.
He's like, this is it, just one more tour. He said then that will be it. He said, I'm 70, been on the road for 50 years.
Yeah.
Time to wrap it up. Now he
Well, if
says
you've been on the road.
Yeah.
This is
Do
about
that the whole time you're on the road.
He said this is about touring. That doesn't mean he wouldn't play a one-off, but typically when a band announces a tour, like we announced Pearl Jam doing a tour, it's several dates. He said he might just do a one-off. So if you wanted to go see Elton John and never seen him before, it'll be hard.
His farewell tour might be one show.
No, he said he will announce a tour, but I'm saying moving forward, it would be a one-off. And what if that one-off was in Rio de Janeiro?
I had the pleasure of seeing that guy in 1977 at Anaheim Stadium.
Wow.
Back when he was still dressing up as crazy over-the-top Mozart and giant glasses and giant boots. It was so fun.
I bet. Derek is an Eagles fan. I'm guessing that's why you selected this song?
Damn right.
Do you have a song called "You Don't Stand a Chance in the Super Bowl"? Maybe you should play that one. Derek.
Ouch. Ouch.
I know Tom Brady cut his hand, but I think he should use his left hand and still beat your Eagles.
Yo,
I don't even care. It's just fun to yell at Derek.
I can't wait until the game. I can't wait, buddy. Eat those words.
A Jacksonville school is apologizing to parents after playing a big song, a very popular song right now, called Gucci Gang by Lil Pump.
Am I in that one?
No, I don't
Lil
think
Gucci,
so.
just like Danny Bonaducci, we play in the morning.
Yeah, but this is a new song.
Wow, I'm popular.
I don't think you're in this one.
No, I'm positive I am.
Well, here's a little bit of the song.
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
That rhymes.
Red racks on new chain. My bitch love do cocaine. Ooh, I forgot name. I can't bob me no wetter rain. Rather go and bob all mains. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Well, you know what the problem with this song is?
Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Well,
It's terrible.
Part
There's
of
not
it
a lot
is
to it.
you're hearing this is a goat edit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
What are they doing to that poor goat?
Okay, so love do cocaine,
Right.
Goat edit. This was played in an elementary school.
Well, that's not good.
I don't know. Were they doing a unit on goats? Like learning about goats?
It was a school dance.
Oh, okay. That's not
And
good.
it was not
By
a
the
goat
way,
edit.
I don't know. I mean, if you were at KZOK and you happened to be looking at it that moment, I was trying to dance to that song, and the mini was Gucci gang, you can kind of dance, but then when the goat edit happens, it just wrecks all the rhythm.
Danny TV. Watch it at KZOK.com if you want to see Danny trying to dance to Gucci Gang.
More of this.
Oh, he's naked now,
That was
folks.
just for you viewers.
Do you guys think I could be at an elementary school DJ?
I don't think
No.
you're allowed within 500
Yeah.
feet of an elementary
I don't
school.
think so.
Check with your parole officer.
The school has since apologized, said that wasn't well thought out, that
Yeah,
the DJ
sorry.
should have been better versed. Well, 20th Century
I
Fox.
like the song, though.
Me
I gotta
too.
say.
I hate to admit it.
It grew on me at the end there. The last time he said Gucci Gang,
Gucci gang,
Gucci
you know the way he
Gucci
said
Gang.
it that one time?
Yeah.
I just got an email from the bosses.
Yep, he said we're all fired.
20th Century Fox has made an announcement. They are going to be remaking a movie, which you could say kind of every day there's movies being remade, but this time around it's part of a deal they've made with Ryan Reynolds. He has a company, a deal with his company to make a couple of movies. One of those movies will be Clue.
No, not again with this crap.
The
Well-
Tim Curry classic.
Yeah,
Clue?
exactly.
Clue starred Eileen Brennan,
No, it starred
No, it starred Tim Curry.
Tim Curry,
Yeah.
Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd, Michael McKean, Martin Mull, and Leslie Ann Warren.
It was alphabetical. That's why Tim Curry wasn't first.
Oh, yeah.
He's right. I sorry.
He's first in our hearts.
There he is.
Well, now talking about bringing it back. Clue was made in 1985. One of your wives' favorites
Yes.
because of Tim Curry. who
She almost
she's-
tried to make me watch Hunt for Red October last night. And it's getting late, and I'm thinking, why the hell would she want to get involved with that? Like a Sean Connery, Alec Baldwin submarine movie.
Yeah.
Turns out he's the ship's doctor, Mr. Tim.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Not
that.
falling for any of this anymore.
It's a good movie, though.
Yeah, it is a good movie.
Speaking of good movies, the movie The Big Sick
Yeah.
was, I thought, very, very funny. Very well done.
Written and
movie.
starring Purvi Von Pervishead, right?
No.
Oh.
That stars Kumail Nanjiani, and it's this true story of his
Him and his
life.
girl, right.
Yep. And he is good friends with director-writer Edgar Wright, who has made a bazillion movies, but most recently, Baby Driver. They had some sort of wager, and it was not for Zimbabwean dollars.
Oh, no? What else can you bet? Yeah.
Brussels sprouts.
Oh. We've never thought to bet
You
Brussels
ever taken
sprouts.
a good sniff of cooked, or even raw Brussels sprouts?
Gross.
Yeah.
Man, baby butt. That's all I'm saying. Maybe I've said too much. I don't know.
According to Edgar Wright, I told Kumail that he and Emily were going to get a Best Screenplay nomination. And if I was right, he has to eat a bowl of Brussels sprouts. He hates Brussels sprouts, thinks
Oh,
they're
this is
baby
just
butt.
So wacky. I want them all to come over to my house and be really Hollywood and eat people and eat food.
Well, they did get nominated, so he said he will stand by it that he might not live through the process, but he will eat a bowl of Brussels sprouts. Steve Wilkos is lucky to be alive after a car crash sent the talk show host and former Jerry Springer bodyguard to the hospital.
Can you believe that guy's got a show? I can't get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and the guy that used to punch the baby daddy in the face now has his own show.
Jerry Springer's security guy,
Yeah,
right?
has his own show.
And he's had it for a decade.
Forever.
now.
He's rich.
And it's an awesome show. When he has people on stage he doesn't like, he grabs the chair and throws it at the wall and says, "You don't get to sit down on my stage."
He does?
Yeah, it's great.
I was going to chastise you, but that sounds kind of bitchy.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I'm willing to admit this now.
Wait a second. You don't get to sit down on my stage. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to say it to people.
Yeah.
I watch that show almost every day
Steve
You do?
Wilkos?
by default, by accident. When I wake up
Well,
in the
you'd think
morning,
after like
Eventually.
the 27th time,
Try
it's
to
not an
learn
accident.
something.
when I wake up in the morning, I watch Q13.
Right.
When I turn off the TV and then I come to work, when I go back home, when I turn on the TV, it's still on Q13.
No, you don't get a chair on my show.
Every day, that's what's on. And I wind up watching at least 5-10 minutes
Oh.
because,
Because you're waiting for that line.
yes.
Yeah. I'm going to get t-shirts made.
And I seriously wonder, watching this show, are those people real?
Sometimes and not sometimes.
They are so good. If they are, they should all be given stars in the Hollywood Walk of
Sometimes
Fame.
they're a plant from the producers. Sometimes they've beaten the producers. I had that happen on the Danny Show.
All right, if I win $1,000, I'm going to invest it in T-shirts that say that.
Nice.
You don't get a chair on my
show.
stage. Yeah.
And some sad news to report. A storm chasing community is reeling from the news of Joel Taylor's sudden death. 38 years old, he's an Elk City, Oklahoma native who starred on Discovery Channel's documentary reality television series Storm Chasers. They are not sure what cause of death is, but it is not storm chasing.
Oh, it's
related.
not?
It is
All
not.
right. Wow, 38.
Yeah, wouldn't you just assume a storm chaser
Yeah.
got eaten up by a tornado?
Yeah, if I was hosting a show called Shoot Yourself in the Head, and I find out that I'm dead one day, you guys find out, and you're saying, well, you know, Danny Bonaducci, host of Shoot Yourself in the Head, was found dead. You can assume I shot myself in the head.
You'd think
You
so,
can
yeah.
assume that guy went chasing a storm.
I don't think they're going to make that show, though.
Which what? Well, they'll make
If
the
you're
first
pinning-
episode.
If you're pinning your TV career on
Might come
that
back.
show, that's not going to be.
If that's what it takes, man.
Google is getting into the audiobook business.
Oh, good.
The company launched a new audiobook store as part of its Google Play Books service this week. They promise competitive prices with a pay-as-you-go model. You can listen to as many or as few books as you want without a subscription. You'll be able to listen to books like The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, Ready Player One. Are you tooting
I
again?
didn't mean to. It was an accidental toot. That's an actual toot, and I apologize.
1984. Audiobooks will be available in 9 languages across 45 countries.
Amy and I hit Portland and Vancouver at least once a year each. And that's our big thing that we do is select the book we're going to listen to for the drive there and the drive back. It's one of the great joys. I love that.
And so were you tooting on The Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
And maybe a good book. I just thought it was a terrible movie. And that guy, was it Redmayne?
Yeah.
Redmayne,
Could not be more over that guy.
Yeah.
He was over the top in that movie.
Yeah. Calm down a little bit.
And I believe they're making part 2.
I'll bet.
And you know what it'll be? Number 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's gross when you say it.
Walt Disney announced they'll be giving $1,000 bonuses to 125,000 employees, and they'll be spending $50 million to create a new higher education program for their workers. So cash bonuses, $1,000. A lot of companies announced that they're going to be doing this. Starbucks, AT&T, American Airlines, and this all has to do with the tax bill, that this will help them in the long run and help employees. So they just show up to work today and there's $1,000.
That's nice.
That's nice. That's sweet.
Yeah.
It's a pretty huge bonus. There's a new opera that's actually an old opera.
I was going to say there shouldn't be a new opera. That's bad.
Love, hate, and hot sauce are the themes of this opera that is being revived to kick off New Orleans' 300th anniversary. It is also the 150th anniversary for Tabasco and the New Orleans Opera's 75th anniversary.
So collectively, it's 9,000 numbers.
Tabasco, a burlesque opera.
What?
Yeah. It's actually old. It's an old opera, but somebody recently refound it. They said
300 years ago, they made an opera about hot sauce.
About Frank's hot sauce. I put that stuff on everything.
Yeah.
Tabasco.
Oh, it's not totally the same thing.
150 years ago is when Tabasco started. Did you know it was that old?
No, I did not.
I didn't know it was that old.
I certainly didn't know New Orleans was 300 years old. We're only 200 years old.
You know, from what I understand, there were some people living here before.
All sorts of people.
This company has been around, McKellarney, who, however you pronounce it, who do Tabasco, been around for a long time. So, yeah, they're making it an opera. First time they showed it was in 1894. You'll be able to watch it now.
Cool.
Hot Sauce Love in New Orleans.
I'll watch that.
Yeah.
I don't think
it actually sounds kind of cool.
I don't think it's love of hot sauce. I think it's love.
Comma.
And there's hot sauce. Yes.
Yeah.
Comma.
It's punctuation is everything.
What else do you need in life? Love and hot sauce?
He's kind of
That's
right.
it, really it.
Yeah. Tomorrow night at 8 on Q13 Fox, it will not be about the Steve Wilkos show. No, it will be The 4 Battle for Stardom.
Challenge! Oh, this is bitching that this happens now.
Another cutthroat, dramatic episode of The 4 Battle for Stardom.
It is really like you're on edge when you watch that show in a good way. It's very dramatic.
Well, 4 contestants will clash with the challengers for a shot at becoming the next iHeartRadio On the Verge artist. You can tune in to see who goes home, who stays in the 4, and who yells
Challenge!
Let's take a look at sports.
Sports! Oh,
They don't do that really on the show nearly as much as we do.
But they
about
do
the
it.
Show, but
They do it.
Sports is brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Seattle's Mayor Jenny Durkin went to Washington, D.C. this week to hang out with Gary Bettman, also known as the commissioner of the National Hockey League. She went to talk about Seattle being ready for a professional hockey team, expand the NHL, bring the team here. And she said things went very well at this meeting. We will keep you posted on the future of hockey in our fine town.
All right, can't wait.
Seahawks offensive tackle Dwayne Brown was added to the roster of the Pro Bowl yesterday, making it 7, count them, 7 Seahawks.
How many people play it?
7.
no, there's more than
There's
7.
probably more than 7.
There's probably 40 guys.
40 guys, but still, it
on
seems
each-
like a
on
lot
each
of
team,
us.
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it is a lot of us.
Now, could a
so-
Seahawk end up playing a Seahawk?
No. They
No.
can't, right?
They cannot, unless a former
NFC
Seahawk
versus
who got
AFC. Yeah,
traded.
you could have a former player, but not current.
No, you couldn't. Okay, they don't split them up and say it's all
No.
good fun and all good
It's
cheer.
not like who's doing that now? The NBA, where they pick captains and
Yeah.
then they line you up like
Right,
in
like
school.
dodgeball.
It's not like that.
I'll take Michael Bennett. I'll take Jimmy Wagner. No, this is NFC AFC.
I didn't know what she was doing. I completely, my mind went out there. Oh, okay,
You
I get
seem
it.
disappointed in
Yeah.
Jimmy Wagner, whoever that guy is.
Did I say Jimmy Wagner?
Yeah,
she did.
I'd be bummed if I had
That's
to pick him too.
That's the love child of Bobby Wagner and Jimmy Graham.
There you go.
I like that. Probably tall.
Moving on. You can say bye, bye, bye to hopes and dreams of an in-sync Super Bowl reunion
Bye.
because Joey Fatone says it ain't happening.
The fat one
Yep.
says it's not happening.
So what he says is, they didn't ask me.
But would
Right?
you?
Like he would say no. I don't think he'd say
No,
no.
he does hair care commercials. He'd do it for sure.
He has a cooking show.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of these guys are doing a little something, something, but nobody is as successful as Justin Timberlake.
By the way, I'd do it if I was Justin Timberlake. It
Would
would
you?
show such good sportsmanship. It'd be really cool.
Well, I mean, Beyonce did it and brought Destiny's Child.
Yeah,
in, so
that's totally what I think. That's what he should do. And reach over and pull the fat one's shirt up and nipplegate again. Except this time, pudgy white dude nipple.
Well, he says no. I mean, maybe it's a ruse.
Maybe it's a ruse.
And the New England-Philadelphia rivalry is heating up. Patriots fans.
Between Patriots fans and idiots?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
they have.
My hometown, by the way, born and raised.
I know, and it kills me that you're not an Eagles fan.
I don't care either way. You want me to be an Eagles fan? Go Eagles! There.
Thank you.
No problem, buddy.
Well, in Philadelphia, several donut shops, including Dottie's Donuts, have said anything New England is not welcome, including the Boston Cream. They will no longer serve Boston Cream donuts until after the Super
They
Bowl.
can't just change its name and still let me
Philly
eat the
cream?
Yeah.
Ew.
Cleveland cream.
All right. Nope. They
No,
cannot
no,
just
they
change
can't
its
do it.
name.
What a bunch of idiots. But I mean, that's the thing where Derek should know this. Like, if you wore an Eagles jersey to a Seahawks game, people might kid you and then even buy you a beer. You wear a Seahawks game to a Phillies game, to Eagles game, somebody will punch you in the face.
Yeah. There's a new article in Sports Illustrated where Jay Feely discloses some interesting information about Tom Brady.
You know, in the times the way they are right now, I would change my name if it was Feely. Hey, this is Mr. Feely. Really?
Yeah.
I feel you've done something bad to me, Mr. Feely.
Jay Feely kicked in the NFL from 2001 to 2014. He is currently doing television work. He's a very successful kicker. He also went to college with Tom Brady, and they remained fast friends. The four of them went on vacation. The
wives,
husbands and wives. And Jay Feely says Giselle asked him to talk Tom Brady last year into retiring. She said he won the
So
Super
they
Bowl.
still best friends after you do this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, after your wife I'm going to narc out your wife and what a jerk.
She said, can you help me convince him to retire? He said she was dead serious. I looked at Tom and said, play as long as you can.
Oh, well, there he's cool then.
So clearly,
You know, it doesn't
he
even
didn't
sound that
listen.
serious when the first word out of your mouth is play. Oh, play for as
Right.
long as you can. That's fine
Yeah.
advice from anyone about anything. Play as long as you can.
And that's your look at sports. It is brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys at 1-800-DUIOA.
You know who I like to spend my time playing with?
Who's that?
That would be my friend Steve Slayton. He plays music. He plays
okay.
checkers. He's a player all the way around. Then don't hate the player, hate the game. He's the one that wrote that line down.
Yeah.
Anyway, Steve Slayton's going to walk in this room and he's going to play some classic rock and roll for you because that's just the kind of guy he is. We'll get out of the way. Bye.